What's up, guys?
What's up?
How's it going on a Monday afternoon? It's really warm in here. It's fine. It's fine. It's like second wind of summer out in Seattle. It's what I wait for all the time.
It's amazing. It's
It's,
like
it's why I shush everybody who's like, "Oh, the summer's over." Bleh. It's like, shut up.
it's beautiful
You
outside.
get a second wind like nowhere else. It's fine. So, let's see. Oh crap! This is not what I wanted. Oh.
What's
yeah.
up, Thumpers? Hey, did you guys notice what's on our wrists, by the way?
Yeah.
Let's we got our Thumper Pride. I don't know if there's really any way you can make out the detail,
But it's there.
but I like that we're posing together. This is cool. So we got these sweet new bracelets here for TwitchCon, and we'll be giving those away. And you may or may not actually be able to see them. Oh hey, haha! Huh. We've got a solution. Oh, right here, right up in here.
It's not that close.
Not that close. Anyways, guys, this is gonna be an
Down
awesome.
some,
Yep.
right there. Don't move your hand.
I'm not moving my hand. All right, guys, I'm hand modeling. Let me tell you guys, this is gonna be an awesome week. We are having a brand spanking new episode of Vanquish tonight. Are you
Woo!
pumped?
New volume already? You
Yeah.
guys, holy shit. It's gonna be exciting and crazy, because you know, time travel. Wibbly wobbly. Timey-wimey.
All right. So that's gonna be awesome, and then we got Do Better with Goobers at 10 p.m. Again, we will be trying to train him to play Paragon,
Paragon?
of course, with you guys too. We got a lot of Paragon fans
Ooh,
in the community,
yeah.
so get ready to kick Goober's butt.
Yeah, please. Please do it.
And this
I mean, just because he survived DFA doesn't mean you gotta go easy on him. Just friggin' rip into it.
that just means there are other ways to
There
crush
are
him.
other ways to crush his soul.
Also, guys, look forward to live from TwitchCon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Friday. That's happening
Yeah.
at the Amazon stage. So this is gonna be another huge week at Hyper RPG.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So, wait, they're gonna be streaming our show out there?
We're gonna be streaming something special.
Ooh!
Ooh.
Ooh, guys. Ooh, you heard it here.
Also, Paximo says thanks for not dying on DFA.
Oh, God, yeah. No prob, man. Oh, dude, so scary. But it was really, the moment when, the entire, like, last third of the fight with that Atlas with no front armor, I think I was super quiet because it was like, I don't know, I was so close to dying. It just would have taken one crit to my left torso to ruin my entire day.
Yeah.
But it didn't, so... So thanks you guys for, you know, donating, whether it's civilians or the pork chops. You guys definitely made that battle extremely epic. Like, holy crap. I'm very glad I didn't die too. Ugh, thought I was going to. So I just drew Lamasu. I'm not really sure how I want to paint him. This zoom butt thing.
You know,
is
Steph,
super
I'm
cool.
glad you didn't die, but also I hoped one of you would die.
Yeah, me
so,
too.
You know,
And I'm glad
take that for what it is.
Talon got his freaking Shadow of the Colossus moment, and that was just like, okay, bro, that's fine.
That was amazing.
That
It's
was
like-
that was great, and I love that Tyler just like, okay, because he was telling me later, he's like, I totally did that once in a game, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, you want to do that? Go for it. It's like, damn.
You will be a legend no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, you want to be a badass? Yeah, just do it. I'm not gonna stop you. Roll high enough, and I'm not gonna stop you. It's freaking rad. Okay, I don't know how to paint this. Ooh.
So this is the Lamasu, and
Mhm.
what can you tell us who know nothing about the Lamasu?
I think it's a Sumerian creature, so it's kind of like a temple guardian. You usually see them a lot as those, they're described as part man, part bull, or lion with wings of an eagle, which is actually, found in the Bible, too. If you, read Revelations, when... What is it? Is it John? John. Is it John? Yeah, he sees the face of God, the form of God, and it's described as part man, part eagle, part lion. Because I don't know if it's a bleed through in culture or not, it's really odd. And so, this is what I'm drawing. I like to draw him as a tragic creature, because I like tragic myths. Beyond that, though, I haven't read into Sumerian myth, which is bad on my part.
Well, you know, that kind of makes sense because like Sumeria was like a major power in the Old Testament during the time that the Old Testament, you know, takes place. So them getting a nod in the Bible.
Yeah.
They've earned it.
Yeah, exactly. It is pretty epic too. I mean, this guy's very epic. Okay, so in the thing with the benefactor, I wanted more because I wanted to know why, right? You always want to know the why of villains, but just timing wise, I just couldn't do it. Like I really wanted to. But I wanted that killing blow. It either had to be me or Corfy on that killing blow. So that's what I went after, and that's what mattered more to Valravon.
Yeah, and like
It's ending the problem.
Paximo said, well, Florian did die, so we did get some blood.
Yeah, but, hold on.
Whoa,
One moment.
Whoa.
Sorry, I walked right in your
Fine.
space. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, but she was a religious zealot. That was the whole point, was that she was just doing it, like,
Yeah.
out of,
So,
like...
okay, so now...
She got the death she wanted.
Well,
she did get the death she wanted.
But not only that, okay, so her fear was she wanted to wage peace. Doesn't that sound familiar? Like, it sounds like our very own Lord Commander talking. So what are we gonna do now? We're literally Comstar's fears fully realized.
Season 2!
What do we do, guys? We're fucked is what.
I don't know. I feel
I
like
don't
there were
either.
some people that were like, nah, I don't know. I didn't feel like it really tied up nicely. You know what? War doesn't tie up
It
nicely.
was so scary. We almost died.
It didn't tie up nicely.
I'm glad it leaves questions.
She also has so much info lying around, and we still have Barnett, so we can dig out so much crap about her, but the thing is that it's still Comstar. Comstar is a monster of its own, so no matter what, it's gonna come back to get us. One way or another. Ooh, we got a Fallout?
PJL79, thank you for the resub.
8 months! That is some love!
Alright, I just had to come out here
and...
It's okay.
and say my opinion.
It's okay.
And now, I return to work. Bye!
I have to say Florian's ass at least twice, too, so... Ugh, I'm gonna miss her. I'm definitely gonna miss her. So, side note, Florian is Tyler's little side exalted joke in the game that I don't think anybody has caught. So Floravet is a second circle demon who decided that being a pirate was way cooler and decided to go run around the world on the ship called the Whim of the Wind. And the Whim of the Wind is made of bones and carcasses and made from the skin of his own flesh. Which is freaking insane. And so that's who Florian is, and that is why Florian will live forever. Because she will come back. Let's see. God, yeah. Friggin' AC-20s. The AC-10s, dude, and the Urbies. Oh my god, that was what wrecked my Atlas. It was those goddamn those little friggin' Urbies. Okay, how do I do the space? The space is gonna be hard. Hey, wait, so should I do this black or white or this color? Color would be kind of hard with the comic one.
It kind of depends. I mean, the nice thing with black and white is then you can, like, do a lot of, like, little detail work, like textures and stuff.
Yeah. I know in the wings I want to try some other brushes, but... Let's see.
Dude, you guys, though, you're lucky. You will never have purchasables be so drawback-free again.
What do you mean?
So rerolls are now going to be a little more balanced, so there will be a slight
That's cool. No.
drawback to using them.
That's cool.
So they're
Make
not
it more
completely
exciting.
free.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I think that will make only for more interesting choices. for you
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. Because that's what I wanted, and that's why when people were like, "Oh, you're gonna kill us," it's like, at a certain point, you know, chaos. We need the chaos in order to make the game fun.
Yeah,
You
absolutely. You
know,
guys
the
wanna be
benefactor
on the edge.
using malice after malice after malice is supposed to be fucking scary. It's supposed to be death, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, granted, I didn't want to die, but it was a lot of fun because of you guys. Otherwise, just I can just play a game at home. I could just play a game at home.
That is the cool part, the unexpected, you know, playing with the Thumpers and the Thumpers being a part of the story and the action.
Yeah. So you guys definitely made it. Let's see if I can. Okay, I'm gonna try and not rush this for sure because I actually want to make a nice thing.
You also have time. Lots of it.
I know, which is why I'm just used to like speed painting so much. So.
Yo, the Lamasu Wikipedia page, by the way, is very, very scant.
Yeah,
very
it's very old. It's such an old world thing.
It has like I don't need to know about it being used in Magic the Gathering and Warhammer and D&D. I mean, that's cool, but like, I'd just like more information about how it was
The
used
culture.
historically.
Yeah. So like to me, it feels like they were like the Foo Dogs. They were guardian spirits in a way. They were these powerful celestial guardian spirits. And even you just like read up on Sumerian myth, their stuff's super cool.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of duality. There's a lot of strong female forces in their pantheon, which is really, really rad. Like Tiamat comes from Sumerian myth, but she's not an evil force. She's just power, and she was betrayed, and she got pissed off and just waged war and became a dragon. Like that's pretty freaking cool, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like Tiamat too. Like there's so many. Like there are definitely variations on that story too. I feel like in other cultures as well. Like
Yeah, for sure.
she kind of has a lot of interpretations.
And like, a lot of goddess forces do anyway. You know?
Right.
You have Kali. You have Strix would know a ton more about like the representations of Hera.
Mm-hmm.
And who else? There's a consort of Osiris. Isis, right? Yeah. So, tons of stories.
Ryan, look up Shadu.
Shadu.
Yeah.
All right.
S-H-A-D-U.
Wikipedia does not like that.
Oh my god, I can change the size of the eraser tool. That's amazing.
I am not getting anything on that. So what are one of the ways that you want to challenge yourself with this one? Like I feel like that's always a part of like everything we make, right? Is like what kind of challenges can we impose?
So I'm gonna try,
create?
because this worked so well last time, is try and actually do shading on this a lot more, and like trying to figure out how to paint divots in and how to make 3D forms more efficiently. Because before it was like, oh hey, I can do a thing, and this is really cool. So I think trying to make create a more useful setup in lines first, and then learning how to lay shadows. Like this brow is something that I want. Like I want this little shape right here between, you know, where the eyelids sit. Actually means something.
So you're gonna be creating like sort of like a wire frame almost,
Yeah.
and then filling in from there.
Yeah, and trying to kind of take what I learned from painting with the shapes, like in the Wendigos and the monsters and the Valravon, but making it more of this kind of a drawing bit and seeing what I can push out of it. Things like smaller things.
Have you ever been to Cedar Point?
No, what is that?
It is a theme, kind of like it's a roller coaster. Theme
Oh
park.
yeah, there's a
Ohio,
Valravon.
it's
There's
like
a
one of-
Valravon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Claudia brought me back a patch for mint.
Oh, nice.
It was
Okay.
really nice. Yes, I know what it is. I'm aware of what has happened and where Valravon is and what it is and what's being used. I've seen the things.
What made you decide to go with the Lamassu today in particular?
I think it's sketching a lot of this creature. Very kind of a tragic beast to me. I don't know, I just like tragic myths too, so I wanted to see what this character would look like. Actually, what I realized in looking at Liz Edwards stuff, like, I don't see what she erased. I don't get to see what she erased at all. So she might have actually had a bigger setup than what's actually shown. She's a really good concept artist who did the Explorer and the wall and everything. I was just trying to watch and trying to learn. She just made this really cool spaceship recently, and I was like, oh god.
So what kind of things did you see her do that you hadn't tried before?
She has a very particular way of laying out shapes and forms. Like her signals to herself on how to build the forms is really unique because she's done it enough times in this program. and I haven't, so I was just kind of like, oh, that's a really cool way of doing things. I never thought of doing things like that.
What
know?
does that mean for us non-artistic people?
So, for example, this nose was like, oh, I had a shape, sort of, and an arch, and that's all I know. But now it's like building up this bridge here and building up the shading behind it. Oh, look, is this what I want? No, it's not what I want. And this program is super weird too, so just learning how to do it.
Ooh, for everybody asking about the wristband, well, I mean, ideally we would have none left from TwitchCon because everyone would grab one
Yeah.
and be repping it. But also, like, I wonder if we might get more, and if we do, I would love to find ways to
Do a giveaway for it.
do, giveaways, or include them in other, in bigger giveaways, or find some other way to distribute them to all you awesome thumpers. Oh, here's Emily to probably drop some knowledge.
Ooh, tell me what to do.
You want one of those Thumper Pride wristbands?
Yeah.
You get active in chat for
Ooh.
a giveaway.
Woo!
Right now.
Right
I'm gonna give it away. Right now.
Do it! Emily the Hype Machine.
Scavenging so much infecting lines to give her a. I think it's a one. Yeah. I feel those women are scary. Yeah, you have like goddesses and destroyer goddesses.
Scottish
like
Demo, by the way.
women can be so scary.
Yeah, they can. 8 months! Another big
Woo!
resub,
You guys,
thank
you've
you.
been around for 8 months. You
Love-
guys have been around for even longer. That's so awesome.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
I love that.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. I love the OGs. And the newbies. And the soon-to-be's.
All you guys joining
You're all
us,
great.
hanging out,
You're all
makes
thumpers.
me really happy.
Whether you're a subscriber or not, you're still all thumpers to us, and we love you. And thanks for being here. Oh, whoa, Big Walking Carpet.
Big
6
Walking
months.
Carpet.
And one of my favorite names, Big Walking Carpet. Do we have a winner? We got a winner!
Our winner is Paximo84!
Paximo!
The
I'll
other
message you for your address.
The other Liz. Congratulations.
Nice. It's like ask and you shall receive, apparently.
Yeah. Getting all luck is absolutely smiling upon you.
Yeah, wait,
Maximo.
where? Ooh.
Yeah.
Where's the cup at?
Huh?
QQ, can we get a cup?
Please, the bits, man. I need them bits.
We need them bits. The thumpers demand.
The bits.
That's
Okay,
the best.
so mouth stuff. Mouth is weird. Trying to create an upper lip. Oh god, that didn't work. That did not work. Okay.
Is there a way to bring our camera view closer to yours?
I just have the spectator thing going right now, so people won't get dizzy. But since I'm focusing,
Let's see that face.
yeah,
Oh yeah! Look at that. There's so much more definition on this.
yeah. So, oh, I don't want the eraser tool. What are you doing?
Woo.
Why? Why you do this? So let's see. He's gonna have a beard. He's gonna have so much hair here, which is why I'm not really worried about this mess.
Will he have a sort of hat as well?
Why? Do Lamasus have hats?
Historically, they have crowns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
That's what I saw.
I feel god crowns are very different than how we picture them as human beings.
Sure.
I can make a crown easy. I mean, I told you about the story of King Crow, right? How she wears a crown of stars and that's how she watches over the world.
Yes, because that's what your tattoo's gonna be, right?
Yeah, lovely tattoo. So that was actually a story we made for one of my friends as a little 3-year-old. He's so adorable. He's ridiculous. So yeah, that's his Deus Ex Machina for a story to like kind of. We created characters for him to understand anxiety and feelings and fear. So that's what King Crow is about. I also had a fun discussion with my nurse friend about death because of the DFA episode too. So that was really fun. That's where all that talk about the blood and how the body is nothing but a constant battle.
So what exactly did that? How did that conversation go?
What do you mean?
Like what? Like I feel like I need more information.
Okay, so I was talking to her just about the way like it felt like for we fought a battle and now we're like fighting for peace, but in reality, like how different are we from the benefactor, right? Because even in your body, there's never peace or stillness. Like, it's a constant imbalance. Like, your heartbeat is an imbalance, your pulse is an imbalance of even ions, potassium and potassium and sodium. I think it's sodium, correct me if I'm wrong. Which is why, if you have a heart condition, you don't eat too much salt. Or if your kidneys are being shitty, you don't eat too much potassium because it throws off the ionization in your blood.
Right.
And so you can't have a pulse. And so when that charge stops balancing itself, you just are dead. There's no life without a fight in your body, so, what are you doing? And same thing with, like, I was talking about, a few times about suicide with some friends, and it's like, I don't think people realize that when people do try to commit suicide, you're fighting the trillions and billions of your cells in your body that do one thing, keep you alive, and they've been doing it since the beginning of time. And so, people don't realize that that's what you're fighting. Like, you're fighting a huge army of cells. Which is kind of a cool perspective. I think it's just, like, an interesting perspective to have. It's not necessarily, like, I know.
It is interesting, and also it's interesting because,
I'm talking about, like,
there's a constant
specifics
rebirth of
of,
those cells, too.
Yeah, the specifics of, like, I don't know, the good, the bad of suicide. I'm just talking about, these things that happen and what it means to do that. Yeah.
So life is a battle. Also, thanks for all those bits.
Heck yeah! Where's the cup?
The cup is there.
Oh.
It's in the
You just balance it on Rai's head.
our
Can you do
left.
that?
Our
Can you do
left.
Can you move it so it just bounces on you or one of us?
I feel like that would probably not be a good spot for it, to be honest.
Could
As
be
much
fun.
fun as it would be. Well, it would cover all the awesome stuff you're doing.
That's true. That's true. Oh, I hear things. Yay! What? Thanks for those. So just take that cheekbone away.
Ooh, Paximo. Interesting questions.
Hey, what do you got? What do you got? I like what Paximo.
Oh
I
yeah,
know what
she was
Paximo has to
saying,
say.
as a neuro ICU nurse,
Ooh.
there's always a conversation about whether a person dies when the heart or when the brain dies.
Also, like, medical death is really tricky. Like, someone can literally be drowning in their blood, and they have to try for over, like, I've seen heard stories of people still trying to resuscitate somebody after 4 hours of doing that. 4 fucking hours! And, like, because you have to. You're legally bound to do it, because the idea of, like actual death is really hard to actually still describe, or even classify.
Right, like how do you know there's
You
not?
don't, yeah.
still
How do you
a
know you did
chance?
everything you did? You tried, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's morale. That's really bad morality. That's scary.
Well, also, and then also there's just like the fear of litigation.
Yeah.
Also, what's up, Small Fry?
Hey,
Welcome.
small fry. Hope you could join us. I know what you guys are doing on this fine Monday afternoon.
Also, my vote is for brain death, by the way,
Yeah.
because I think that is like pretty core to who we are, and if your heart stopped, there still might be blood circulating, which would keep your brain going, and for an instant, you still might be.
Well, your brain technically isn't beyond. Like, it starts becoming damaged and is irreparable after 2 minutes. Is it 2 minutes? 5
Right.
minutes? It's actually not. Not immediate.
Right, exactly. It's not like instantaneous.
Yeah.
Like there's still circulation happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's like tricky as hell. Sucks.
Also, Small Fry just said she's excited to watch Vanquish and not the debates. Yeah, tune in to Vanquish where
Cool.
you can watch our favorite irrational people argue.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah. Those poor guys.
At least there's a happy ending.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know what show you're watching.
There's a happy ending every episode because every episode Zach
I
could
think it's
just,
interesting.
could
Okay,
just
so
like kill them all, and he doesn't.
I think the idea with Glitch is very interesting because like her future self is like, go fuck you. I'll just go take care of this. I don't want to deal with it. But like, she is not yet that person. So the thing is, like, current Glitch will have a chance to redeem herself. I think. I don't think it's a lost cause. I don't know if people felt that way or that's kind of a thing that's going or not. I feel that Glitch actually has a chance to change. You know, because it's different timelines. How do you know? I think the world is full of infinite possibilities.
Right, and well, according to, I mean, kind of what they went over is like you may not be able to change like big past events, but your future is still,
You're not that person yet.
affected
That's the
by what you're
problem.
doing.
Like that's the thing. Like she is not that person yet, and I think that's gonna be a fascinating exploration. You know, I mean, it's one thing to lose control of like I don't know, like having that thrown on me, I'd be like, what the fuck? But honestly, like I think Butch has an incredible chance to take on development, and that's also up on the party to realize that too.
Honestly, though, I think
it's
everyone has a
absolutely
lot
on
of
the fucking
growing left to
party.
do.
Yeah, they all do. And then I think one of the key things is like, you know, realizing it.
Yeah, Paximo says if Glitch wasn't there, the team would just argue for 2 hours and slap Nebraska.
Exactly. Yeah. Poor Nebraska. Dear Nebraska. My dearest Nebraska.
Carol knows that now.
No, she never will. It's fine. I'll just keep drawing her more games.
Also, Geistra says, holy Molly, she's such an amazing painter. Dude, nice.
Yeah.
That's a great compliment.
Thank you.
And it's true. Just keep
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to not rush this. Normally I like to speed paint because I'm just used to sketching so fast, and now I'm like, okay, you freaking slow down, Steph.
Yeah, right? You got time.
Draw your fucking nose holes this time, okay? I will.
Don't let your Lamassu suffocate because they don't have nose holes.
I know, exactly. It's a terrible thing for me to do. How dare I?
Oh, I love this view. This is like, I feel a little bit like when you're getting that profile view, it's like looking at...
So that's like building up these layers, right? Because there's like 3 layers of paint under there. Like, so I had the line work set up with like the kind of the shape I wanted, and then Nate blocked out the sides and tried to figure out the gray that I wanted to use for it. So that's what I want to experiment with. This is like, okay, I make shape. Oh, that's wrong. That's,
You know, when we were looking at this though image, like on a sort of a profile view, it kind of reminded me of looking at Rushmore.
yeah.
Except for bigger.
It is kind of it's chiseling. It's pretty much just I'm just chiseling out shapes right
Yeah.
now. So it is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely is. I figure out how to do the horns. Poop. Whatever. Let's see.
Small fry, we're painting Olamasu, which is a ancient Sumerian,
Kind of guardian creature?
almost like an angel in some ways. Paladin Hulk, 2 months resubbed. Thank you so much. Yeah, 2 is more than 1, twice as much. Also, Paximo's fangirling out because you know her name.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course, yeah, the list. I read the Twitters.
She's on the Twitters,
course.
the Twitter net.
Of course, I read the Twitters. I see the support.
Yeah, loving resub hype in chat.
Yeah, guys. 8 months, man. That's such a long time.
And 2 months, like
I'm gonna see
that's
this.
awesome.
Stephanie, how do you save? Stephanie doesn't remember how to use this. Let's see. Facebook, save and load. Okay, yeah, this is why I was like, how do you save?
Oh, small fry. I agree. I love that we've created a community that's super positive and welcoming
Yes.
and open to everyone, and
We
That's
have
what
we have
Peanut
a good,
Thumper's all
we have
about.
a good safe space, and it's like up to us to definitely keep it that way. Not like, you know, I don't know. I keep my circle of friends extremely close, and this is kind of like another circle of friends that I do keep. Like if anything comes near it or tries to hurt it, I'll just like find that person and kill him.
wow, wait, hey, that's a great way to. This
Don't
is such
hurt
a
my
great
friends
community,
or my
such a
community.
safe space, but Steph will murder anyone who messes with it.
Yeah, don't be an ass. Don't be an ass. I'll find you and I'll hurt you. It's an easy choice. Don't be dumb, or like go. I'll find you. Don't be dumb.
Ooh. Also, good question in chat.
Yeah.
I agree, by the way. Don't be dumb. Is good. Good rule. Good part about being a thumpers.
Yeah.
Mostly we're not dumb.
No, you aren't. You guys are nice.
And so someone brought up a really good question though. It was Dyrus, and he says, "What are your plans for Fridays now?"
I do plan to watch the Renegades for sure. 'Cause I need to know what story's happening.
Yeah, for all you know, some of them could end up your future teammates. You never know what will happen.
Yeah, because I also need to know the the legends of these new mech warriors. So I'm interested in because I want to see someone else. Like I'm always interested in seeing someone DM. I'm always because I want to learn eventually how to do it. And I'll get that point, or I want to learn how to DM eventually. And so I've just been watching Malika, watching Tyler.
I think the key thing is being able to convince people when you're making shit up that you aren't.
I also think that part of it is that I think you set up the story, but in the end, like you're telling it with the group of people. I think that's something that I want to learn how to do. Is like when to roll it and hope that the people that I do play with aren't gonna be assholes about it. But for the most part, I'm gonna be playing with my friends, so I'll for the most part know how they're gonna try and approach things or try and troll me. But beyond that, it's like I don't know. I also just want to tell cool experiences. Like I have a memory loss game that I want to play in D&D.
Ooh.
Because it's gonna be a one shot, and like so I want people like I'm gonna go through the whole thing. Everyone's gonna write their freaking backgrounds for me, but I'm just gonna be like, nope, bye. You don't have one. Then I'm gonna roll it to you in bad dreams, and you're gonna figure out, or maybe you will never know who you really are.
That sounds awesome. We should just do that when we have another free night.
There you go. Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, and what happens then is that you might never know what you've done, but people will react certain ways to you. And it's up to you to figure it out, to care, or to even change.
So you're all just like going through your own Memento storylines?
In a way, yeah. But you have to fight a lich at the same time, so.
Well, that's good. Of course.
It's also because, like, I found so many, like, homebrew, Bloodborne monsters. I just want to run them. I just want to run them into a campaign.
Dude,
you know?
I want to play on that.
Yeah.
I love Bloodborne.
That's what I want to do. That's the main reason, if I were to be honest, is Bloodborne. Oh, shit.
Also, seeing some excitement for Chris, and Chris is going to be awesome. He's
Yeah.
worked with Tyler, practicing and learning from him, and of course, guesting on the
And
show.
he's super chill. I love the energy from this guy. It's gonna be great.
Good energy,
Really
a lot
excited.
of passion,
Yeah.
super dedicated.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of
I'm gonna
fun,
do beer.
and it's going to be cool to get to tell a different story.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. A different kind of, because like it's still BattleTech, but like you get a different kind of roleplay story now.
Yeah, you get a different flavor, which is
Yeah.
great. It's like,
I'm excited. Oh, thanks.
woo! Thank you, Working Class Hero. Yo, I like chocolate ice cream, but I also like vanilla ice cream, and I also like, pecan. So
I had a very strange childhood. My parents didn't really let me eat that many sweets or variety of sweets, so I really like this chocolate, and I don't really like anything else.
well,
Which is why I don't like fruit pies. Like,
whoa.
fruit pies freak me out. Like, I don't like the...
Fruit pies freak
I
you
do
out?
not like the taste or the texture of baked fruit.
Interesting.
It's just a thing to me. I just don't find it very appetizing.
Not into it.
So...
Woo.
Woo, I hear things.
There's some bits flying
Lots of
around.
bits.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Trograph.
guys.
By the way, Trograph, yes, we will have Vanquish tonight at 6 p.m. This is going to be the start of a new volume.
Season. It'll be great.
Genova Plus. Whose playlist was it during last night's stream? I mean, realistically, it was probably like Pandora, if I had to guess.
I come bearing news
Yes,
about the title
we have a title.
of Vanquish Volume
Ooh.
3.
Ooh.
Would you like to know?
Yes.
Tell us. I want to know right now. Please tell me.
Okay, it's called It Is Written.
Ooh.
It is written.
What could that possibly mean?
Something.
Lots of things. You figured
Something
out.
about written. Also, there's a great question also that I saw earlier in chat that I wanted to go back to, and that was, Steph, what was your favorite moment of season 1?
Oh gosh. I loved the All Ladies episode.
Oh, that was so much fun.
I also love all the moments that I accidentally one-shotted everything.
Yeah.
Every one-shot that I've ever had in the season. That was freaking awesome.
Hard to not feel good about that.
Yeah, oh my god, the AC cannon to the freaking catapult, that was unexpected. That was so cool. And it was just overkill anyway. It's like, yeah, sure, why not? Just alpha strike him and like, oh, headshot. But hey, nothing else matters now. I'm like, okay, nothing really matters. That's fine.
Nothing really mattress.
Nothing really matters.
I love that like chat is now just doing Creeping Death by Metallica.
Yeah.
So let it be
okay,
written.
so we were talking about, asking about like what my death song would be, and I like in Ghost in the Shell season 1, the song "Beauty Is Within Us," and there's like this beautiful refrain that Scott Matthews is like singing, and it's like the most beautiful song to me, and that because it sounds. Because the music in that song sounds so tragic and so painful, and that's what but it makes you feel like you just want to keep pushing to the bitter end. That's what that song reminds me of. That would have been Valravon's death song. Shit, I don't like this.
I have no idea. If you haven't seen Ghost in the Shell, then if you're like me
Which
and you're
means
like,
you have to go see it. I don't know what it only needs you to go friggin' see it.
oh,
now,
I know. I was
obviously.
just saying, if you're like one of the 5 people who haven't seen it, which includes me, then
It's fine.
and you still have
It's
no
fine.
idea.
I still like you.
Thank you for understanding. That's my thing. I have a serious lack of knowledge when it comes to like a lot of television and film.
Just because just no time to watch. I mean, if that's
It just like was never like a priority. Like I've watched some stuff like
I finally got a Netflix account, and I'm gonna be watching a lot of things now.
nice.
But mostly it's for documentaries, because that's the one thing that I absolutely miss, and finally was like, okay, I need to catch up on this one show. I wanted to finish watching Gallivant. And so I got Netflix for that, which is, by the way, a really hilarious show. I really love season 1. It's hilarious. It's really, really clever.
What is it?
It's this medieval musical satire show,
My.
and it's really funny. It's super funny. The second one gets a little out of hand in my opinion, but it still has a really good like story flow at the end. Like there's a beautiful redemption in that second season. But first season is ridiculous, and it's super funny. It handles satire really well, makes fun of itself like all the time. It's beautiful.
All right, check out Gallivant, guys, and then you can tweet at Steph about
They're
it.
stupid. They have this wizard named Xanax. The great wizard Xanax who replaced Merlin. It's like,
Does Xanax just like make everyone feel relaxed?
yeah.
And sleepy and
What?
kind of
Where does
drunk?
your anxiety and your pain come from? Let Xanax help you. I think it's so clever.
Oh man.
Yeah. So it's that kind of crap. It's all over the place. It's beautiful.
Oh man.
Yeah. So watch it, please. Please watch it. It's beautiful. It's on Netflix right now. Definitely worth the watch. Good representation. Feminism's in there. It's very, very adorable. Empowering.
Oh, snap! More cheers getting launched.
Heck yeah! Thank you, guys.
Someone's trying to. We have a full cup.
We do?
That's-
What happens? It explodes after it.
Yep. Ah, there it goes.
There it goes!
Yeah.
Woo! Thanks, guys. You can try and do that again. I
Love
have
it.
time.
People always eat junk, especially when they're funk and drunk. People always eat
I really love this tool that I can actually like move things around now. Less crazy movement for you guys. You guys can actually watch this happen.
Here they
Ooh.
come. They keep on
You
coming.
guys are so awesome.
Dude, that beard is looking sweet though. By the
Isn't it
way.
great?
It's
He's
like,
gonna
oh,
have
snap.
all these hair and dreads all over too.
This is actually just a picture of Domestic Dan.
When he's sad and hasn't had food.
He just gets on all fours.
Ooh,
I need a bacon wrap burger.
maybe this is why he's sad. He had a bacon wrap burger and now he's just sad. Poor decisions, man. That's what happens. Oops. That's not how white it's supposed to be. Sorry. Sorry, guys. So yeah, this is another thing where I'm trying to chisel this shape. So I have this arm shape here, but I know it's not flat. So I'm gonna try and build up the side before I overlay more muscle this way. So you have this really nice. I can't really see it right now. It's not drawn in. Piece of crap. Like that, for example.
Anatar wants to know what you're painting.
A Lamasu. It's featured in Sumerian myth. They usually see them like guarding temples and stuff. Old Babylon things. It is also the same kind of moniker description of what gods look like in the Bible. Part man, part bull, sometimes lion, and with the wings of an eagle. So, that's what this is.
And it's pretty rad.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to talk about cool myth stuff, for sure throw it in chat. Any fun facts that you know. Because Sumerian myth is something that I haven't really spent that much time in.
Whoa!
But you've all heard things, like Tiamat. Tiamat is a Sumerian myth. she does become a dragon. I'm not like.
Yeah, also, I'd be curious, what other mythological creatures would you like to maybe potentially see, since we've
Yeah,
covered
exactly.
quite a few already.
I'm always happy to look up more if you have any, like, maybe some cool, like, folklore, fairy tales. Always am interested in hearing more stories. We had a really cool conversation about what Native American myth, too, and spirits. During one of our Wendigo drawings.
Yeah, Native American myth is really cool. I really like some of the Navajo myths
Oh,
are
God, yeah.
really like just wild
Oh,
and awesome.
It frightens me, honestly. Like, if
And
there's
there's such
anything,
good
it's because
stories.
It's good and it's frightening, and we don't have that in this country. This country, like, is not afraid, and that's, I think, the problem. That is a very big problem.
Fear's not all bad. Sometimes you should be afraid.
You should know there are things bigger than you, and they will eat you for no reason. They will devour you for no reason, simply because they can, and that's an important thing to remember, I think.
That kind of reminds me of like the story of oh gosh, was it the wolf or the coyote who like messes with this other Navajo sort of god spirit that's like this like rock, and so then
The coyote. It's Coyote and
It's
the
coyote.
Fox. Coyote and the
It is-
Fox.
yeah,
It's the blanket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
And then the coyote like disrupts the rock, and so then the rock is just chasing it like basically for
Because
eternity.
he took his blanket, he left his towel there, and the boulder is like, oh, it's mine now. And Coyote's like,
Yep.
it's raining, give it back. He's like, no, it's mine. You left it here. And I tried to trick him to give it back, and just got it angry, and it destroyed so many things. I think other animals happened because of it. Like,
Yeah.
it destroyed so many things that.
And that was probably like the worst way to tell that story, so I
Yeah,
apologize.
sorry.
Not you, me. I didn't do a good job. I've forgotten a lot of it.
Oh, no, yeah. I remember parts of it. I've heard this myth recently, too. I heard that story.
You know, in Navajo mythology, there's the Black God, who I always thought was a big inspiration for Gwyn, Lord of Cinders, at the end of Dark Souls.
Ooh.
So the Black God is a fire god. He invents fire, and he's kind of a heroic character, but he's not really a hero. He's actually old and slow and apparently helpless, which is exactly how I think of Gwyn at the end of Dark Souls.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yep. Also, there's some great, if you look up the Black God, there's some great images.
Oh, the Black God.
Yep.
Okay. I'll check that out. So here I am defining hips. I know that there are triangles and spaces in between where rib cages happen and the folds of skin. So seeing if establishing that before drawing the white will help. I doubt it will, but it'll be interesting.
Do you think Lord Commander is based on Odin?
Probably.
Right?
Eventually he's gonna sacrifice himself and hang from the tree, right?
He's already missing the eye.
Yeah. Joke on the Raven too, Valravon.
Yeah, right?
Your memory and your thought.
Snowy Noe, of course I played Dark Souls. Dark Souls is one of my favorite games of all time.
Dang! Yeah, it's beautiful. Holy shit.
Even Dark Souls 2, I
Also,
still
like,
enjoy.
the art is just like the fact that you put monsters and tragedies. Like, I'm a big pain nerd, and when you write tragic stories, it just hits me in the core, and I love it. I love the way it makes me feel.
Yeah, there's so much tragedy in Star. Like, you know, when you think of characters like Sif,
Sif,
so
yeah.
memorable.
She was just like, I don't want you to go down this dark path, and I will do anything to stop you. You know? Oh, woof. That's so sad.
And what I really appreciate too, like on top of that, is how much of the storytelling is environmental. Like so much of what you learn in Dark Souls isn't told to you; you just observe and figure it out.
That's the kind of story that you need, right? And that's like one reason why I love Mad Max. Like they don't ever really tell you this is rape. It's just like, you know, it's brutal. You know, whatever had happened is terrible. You know,
Yeah,
you don't
because
need to see it.
when you call something aqua cola, you've already characterized it so thoroughly.
Yeah, exactly.
Without having to explain that
Exactly.
you've commoditized water and used it to build your empire. Like,
yeah, exactly.
that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, one day can we do Furiosa?
On this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, I feel better about colors too because I want that gold and that bronze and blue color of
Yeah.
Mad Max.
Oh hey, by the way, back in Mochi Guy, I think I almost said your name correctly.
Mochi Guy,
What's
yeah.
up?
Hey!
Yo, are there any lurkers in chat too? Any lurkers out there? We love our lurkers. We always like to say hi. We like to make you guys come out of the woodwork for a second so we can see your beautiful faces and names. Name faces.
Faces. That's not working. Oh, you can actually look this up and down too. So this actually makes me want to try and redo like the Marachi the Wolf Queen story that I did because now I can actually build environments. Like I can put this somewhere else and then teleport somewhere and draw a different scene and build this. Oh shit! And build a gigantic file that can never load. Pretty much. I don't like where the shading thing is going.
Why bother us lurkers? Cause it's fun.
Or if you don't want to say it, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess if you don't want to, you just won't say
No,
anything.
just keep lurking because I do that. Like I'm
Yeah.
mostly a lurker anyway. Like I got my screen name and I got my lurker screen name. I do hang out in here, so.
Yeah, we got the Rad EC 2000. See, that's a name I hadn't seen before, so I'm glad
Cool.
that
Hey,
you said
thanks
hey.
for saying hey.
What's up?
Nice of you to join us. Hang out here. While I saw weird things.
Yeah, on Full Tilt with Steph, our artist goddess.
I'm currently drawing a Lamasu from Sumerian myth. I do not know very much about Sumerian myths, so if anybody wants to talk about stories, or not even just any kind of stories, like I would love to hear it too. If you feel comfortable, I'm always interested.
It's pronounced erratic. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So now building these are fine. They're always one flat surface and one flat surface for an ankle, and then you build calves like that. If anybody is interested in learning how to figure draw, so pretty much you literally will chisel something out of imaginary stone. That's what it's like to draw these structures. Anyway. Oh, thanks for those! I heard them!
Who would you say is most similar to their DFA character?
Oh,
Steph or Rai Rai?
Oh, me.
That I don't know how to answer that question. I don't have a DFA character, so I'm gonna say Steph.
Yeah, I tend to try because I feel that I'm still a more new and amateur role player. A lot of what I require is that I base it on certain things or beliefs that I have. So Varvan, I think, is her own a little bit more of her own character now, but a lot of what she is based on the feelings and ideas is from me and my own experiences, which I think is makes it more authentic, in my opinion.
I was gonna say that's what I love about people who are new to role playing is they bring so much raw and intimate knowledge and emotion.
Like friggin' Connor, definitely friggin' knows guns and knows how to fight, so he plays that tactical talent very well and very believably, you know? And it works. It's great because it's that balance. Like we balance the party as we would with the friends too, in a way. So
Right, and we saw as he
I really
stepped
love
up as the leader, he really knew what he was doing,
yeah.
which was awesome.
Oh, he's a tactical genius in the mech. Absolutely, Talon is a tactical genius in his mech. No question about it. And now I want to see if we can address Jackal becoming more than just a leashed dog. You know, in the way that he kills without thought, in a sense. He still just likes to kill things in a way it's not the same as Valravan or Talon. You know, Talon just, oh, honor, give me, you know, I'll kill you instead. It's always like, give me this or I'll kill you. Same with Valravan, but his pursuit of killing is a very different kind, and I'm interested in seeing what Zubers wants to do with it. Because I know he's also new. He's new to role playing, so I'm like, hey man, this is gonna be a cool experience for you.
Ooh.
And I want to know. I want to know what it's gonna be like. Because okay, so
By the way,
So-
Miss the Mint, just want to say thanks for the resub. 4 months.
4 months since I've
We
been
love
hanging
you.
out. Because in the end of DFA, when I located the benefactor, when Valravon finds the benefactor, it's just like unfinished business, man. It's either me or Corby that gets the killer, and I gotta make up for it. You know, that was the end goal. And enroaching on a kill of mine, kill of Valravon, is gonna be an interesting subject, I think.
Corby
Take-
still has a lot of history that you guys
Oh.
could unpack.
Absolutely, and that's going to be interesting now. Like, oh, you saved Zacharis, but how much good you think you can do now? You know, what good is it now? I think that's going to be interesting for all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. For who's the most like their character, that's tough. I think it's probably between. I feel like it's
I will
between
admit
you
it's
and
me.
Mitch.
Yeah, I will admit it's me for sure. A big part of it's me.
Goobs is like his character, as in they're both loud, but besides that, not so much. He's not haunted by his past. Well, maybe he is, but not in that way.
I also want to address mental illness too. Like that's going to be an interesting, and it's going to take a long talk and a care, I think, because I do want to explore that.
I agree.
You know?
It's kind of.
But
it's
we
kind
have
of
to be
lighter.
careful. I have to be careful. We have to be really cautious, and we have to take care of what we're trying to tell, and not just go, "Oh, this is what I think it's about." Like, no, we have no right to say what we think it's about, but we need to translate the idea and the concepts behind it properly. I think that's what we. Hopefully, now that things are more settled, that we can get a chance to talk about that next season. Because I really would love to. I think it's an important thing to address and realize, like, and PTSD too, like. That lives with you forever.
serious.
That freaking lives with you forever. There's no, peace really ever. So what do? You know, how does that feel? Like, what triggers you? Like, we get these, we have a, torchlight parade out here, and they let out their blue angels and everything, and they're like streaking across the sky, and I can hear them when I'm up on the hill, downtown, everywhere. But like, they're veterans who have PTSD, and that is not a fun experience for any of them. You know, all day too. It's not even like a night, like it's all day for hours, and it sucks. In my opinion, it frigging sucks.
See ya, Osborne.
Peace.
Yeah, well, that's interesting, and too, in like in some extreme cases too, just like loud noises in general that are like not expected.
Yeah. Like,
You-
and then like your
sort of
gut
trigger.
reaction, like, and what happens with people, like, people throw the word triggered around a lot, and like I get it. I know they're not trying to enroach on like what it means, but it also means when you do feel it in a psychological trauma state, you're literally put in a place where you can do nothing but fight or flight.
It's very Pavlovian.
Yeah, it's scary because you lose control. Like, you literally lose the part of your brain that said, "Step back a second, you're fine, you're not in danger." You lose that, and you immediately just are like on edge. It sucks. It takes a lot of energy out of you. It just sucks, And that was one thing I wanted to talk to Goobers about in the future too. It's like, hey, you gotta figure out some triggers. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, and Working Class Hero brings up a good point. Corfy and Jackal could work together to figure out their pasts.
Yeah,
and
and
grow,
that,
because they
we
have some similar
we were
experiences.
talking about that too, because that's kind of what the intent was like, that's why Lord Commander's like, hey, you two, you figure it out, Like, I'll teach him how to focus his desire to kill, but the dealing with the pain and the suffering. Oh, see, the same thing with Corfy too. He's like, oh, guilt. I'm like, let me tell you about guilt, Corfy. Let me tell you about what it's like to kill a good friend of yours in your own lance. Let me tell you about that.
It also makes me think it'd also be interesting to see if you had to like ever face, if you ever came face to face with like your mother again.
Yeah.
What would that be like?
Or my father, who are like, I kind of know who he is, and I do respect and honor him, but like, I have a very, like, Valravon is a very odd bloodline. Like, her father's technically already just a traitor, simply,
Dyrus is also bringing up an interesting concept, saying that a lot of people when they first play RPGs tend to play more violent characters, and then as they play for longer times, they look for other sort of experiences or something.
Oh,
more in
yeah.
depth.
And like I tweeted this earlier, and like I feel I am so lucky to have had the experience to play on DFA, because every single week I got to face mortality in a very interesting way. I got to face death in my own way every single week, and have a moment to think about it, to kind of decompress, take it apart, understand what it means to die. It's really strange. It's really, really weird.
I think that's sort of the
Like,
thing
the
about
ultimate, that's
permadeath.
the ultimate RPG, though, right? To experience death, to know what it's like to live in a way. That's cool.
That's the cool consequence of permadeath, though, that we don't talk about. We talk about it like in the like dramatic factor that it brings to the show. But if you're ever playing in a campaign where permadeath is a real thing, you've been playing a character for a year or 2 years. I had a character who I played for 2 years that was killed, unfortunately, permanently, and that is a moment of tragedy, because you're like, wow, I lost that person. Don't have access to that person anymore. That's the person I've come to like discover and know and love and
Had
be
the
with
grandest adventure
for
in a way.
X amount of time. Yeah, and that is a real loss.
Yeah. Tyler had a really cool Vampires the Masquerade death with his character. It was just like, oh, it was amazing. Some of the stories are super funny. Yeah, it's first time for me to really, like, I've had my D&D characters come close to dying, you know, but this is very different, yeah. I feel the development for that show is so different from a tabletop. Holy crap.
Oh, absolutely.
So different from playing with my friends. And it's like, it's allowed me to bring something new to the table too when I do play D&D and any RPs with friends. Like, it's very cool. It's been very cool. Like, also Strix's shows helped. Like, when I played Monster Hearts with her, it absolutely helped me learn how to play RPGs. You know, approach character. It was super cool.
I love that about those indie and freeform RPGs. What kind of like emotions they allowed you to explore. There's actually been a conversation the other day.
Hey, you played the really cool ghost one in the attic.
Yeah,
right?
it was really fun. I was having a conversation about like how I wanted to use a lot of those concepts and incorporate them into more traditional role-playing games, and I think you can do that too without losing anything. And I'd love to see more games explore that, where they take some of the more like edgy and interesting story elements and like, you know, bring that in with an NPC or an organization or a region in a larger
I feel
role-playing
there are a
game
lot
world.
of things I could totally bring to D&D campaign if I wanted to, from DFA, for example. Because there's a lot of, like, the Benefactor storyline, like, oh my god, like, I wish I could, I want to tell a story like that in D&D, in the world of D&D. I want an overarching power like that, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
I want to make those mini bosses in the way that our season flowed was so perfect, and we're currently running a game with my DM, and like we're going to his so he's built up a world called the Cast Isles, that's kind of built off from Faerun, and building up these huge villains. But like, you know, I feel I began to realize that backstory is important, but like it's not important for you to make, like, you don't have to always make your story hooks about the character's backstory. Like, you can literally just, if someone doesn't want to go back into their past, don't. That happens in real life. So why don't you make something perilous to them, make them have a vision, make something literally occur where in their current state they have to do something about it. That's how you make a story hook out of that.
Right, because it needs to be immediate. Like, all those things are great, but if the immediate story and the immediate things going on don't draw people in, then why would they ever get into the
Some
history?
people just don't want to do it, so it's like, then don't. Then just make them care, you know? If they care, they know how to care. Oh, his hair looks cool.
Well, that's also, you bring up another good point about the awesome thing about playing RPGs and like being part of this channel is it can give you a lot of good ideas for your own campaigns and your own adventures with your friends and stuff. I know that's what I'm doing. Like I'm writing for this company called Open Legend RPG. They're awesome, and I'm taking a lot of the things I've learned here about storytelling and about making it accessible and dramatic, and kind of incorporating that into my own writing.
I'm talking about emotional bleed, even
I'm
a
taking
critical
notes.
role. Critical role too. Talk about emotional bleed. It does. Is when you care about things, it hurts. That's the reason why trolls are like trolls hurt people's feelings because when people care, it hurts, but they don't care, so they're gonna say whatever they want. You
Right,
know?
they have nothing to
When
lose.
you care, you know, you've bonded to these people. You either like them or dislike them, and you know, and you want a reason. Like we always will want a reason, which is why people are gonna blame the DM or blame the character or blame the person. But you have to understand, you know, take a step back for a second, and so one thing that does help. I was talking to one of my friends who I play D&D with, and he's like, I'm having trouble like trying to like solidify character, and it's like, well, speak in third person. Refer to the character as a third person. That helps you
Gain some
differentiate
distance.
stuff. Yes, you have to distance yourself, or else, you know, it's just gonna bleed. It's gonna be you. Like, I don't hate you. I just don't agree with your character, and you know, and so the only way that I can show that is by differentiating by character names or talking in third person or finding an accent to talk in.
It's kind of an interesting thing because for some people that can be really effective. I find in the same way, using voices for me has helped me develop characters, and also voice is a great way to like display character without telling someone something directly, which makes it a nice tool. But for some people, it seems like it's better for them to play an extension of themselves, while other people are more comfortable playing someone totally different.
And so I maybe run like playing an Exalted game really soon, and I'm gonna pretty much run a character that is me if I could run away from social minds. If I could just bum it around all I want and be a monk about it, then I would do that, and that's kind of what this character is going to be about. It's like the exploration of that part of me. So like for me, I was talking about someone had commented like, you know, role players have empathy, and empathy, in my opinion, only happens when there's a conversation, which is why like we have these kinds of moments, is because we experience these things, and if your friends and your community talk about it, then you learn. That's how you learn to be empathetic. You have to learn what had happened, why, you know, and what makes it so.
Right, and there's
But if you
difference
don't
between
talk
empathy
about
and
it,
sympathy.
yeah, and if you don't talk about it, then you learn nothing. Like you can't learn anything. I've seen enough people roleplay who are assholes. So like a big part of it is that discussion. It's so important to have that discussion. It's really cool too. You just, you know, you hear what other people have experienced and you bond over that, and then you just learn, you know, like, oh shit, you know, I'm the only person. And it's a very, very cool thing. Game feels.
Yeah, game feels.
feels,
Explore
guys.
emotions and lifestyles you never would. I mean, that's interesting. I think we have like very different role-playing styles, which
Yeah.
is cool because I love what you do, and I know that I'm actually not good at playing characters that are like myself. Like, it's
Oh,
very
really?
difficult for me, so I'm total
Interesting.
opposite.
That's
It's like-
interesting.
My character that I played for 2 years before they got permakilled, he was a town guard named Lionel Sorellin, and he was like a big jerk, and he abused his power and was like really obnoxious, and like tried to he tried to like execute all like the most minor like civil codes basically.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just a dick.
Just a dick. You just played a dick. But like, also, so you're a writer, so that's kind of a thing for you, right? Like, with my writer
Being a
friends.
dick, yeah.
No. It's like experiencing different things. Like the reason why you know, keep in touch with all your friends is like, I'm gonna put you in a story someday.
Yes,
Right?
and-
And it sort of, like, it's not always, but it's like a point of inspiration to understand, like, we're better to understand life and to look through your friends in a way.
Absolutely, and strangers too. I love collecting stories. There's
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
I enjoy more than sitting back and listening to someone just tell me about their life.
Yeah,
That is like
yeah.
a
It's
supremely
fun.
simple
It's
joy, like a
insane.
cup of coffee. It's great.
Yeah, it's insanely fun.
But it's interesting also, like when you say, you know, oh, you know, you're a writer, so you collect your friends' stories. But also, like as a writer, part of what you do too is like part of the reason you write is to understand people you're not friends with, and like
Yes.
so when you're
Yeah.
exploring a character that
Yeah.
you find to be unlikable or a dick, like what you're really looking for though is for the humanity in them. It's like why are they like that? Why are they damaged?
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
it's one thing to just, you know,
Right
make
off-
a character
yeah.
and like kick them off and be like, oh yeah, oh this person's a jerk, like look how dumb they are. But like to take that person and then show, you know, an audience like what's lovable about them and like what, you know, good is still left in them. That's
Yeah.
like I think what writing
Which is
is really
so
about.
one thing I really love is like I love waffle good villains because of that. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
because like Kuvira in Legend of Korra is one of my favorite examples. Just because like everything about her is so wonderful and so righteous, but then it's just like it's so bad. Even though she's doing everything for the good of humanity, none of it is in her interest at all. She just wants to save her people. She just doesn't want them to fall into poverty again. It doesn't want them to suffer again.
It's duty.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, oh my
It's
god,
responsibility.
you know, it's beautiful, but it's like, oh shit, like how it's so easy to cross that line, and that they do it with her, and I really love that character. I love that character so much. Holy crap.
It's cool too because I think maybe it's interesting too, like every role-playing game kind of like encourages these kind of things to one degree and another, and some are like
Yeah.
better suited for different
Yeah,
stories
yeah,
than
absolutely,
others.
absolutely. And I think sometimes it's fun to push other games to try and make an experience.
Mhm.
Like for D&D, I just want to keep trying to push that game to experience something new with my group of friends because they're like I want them to understand game feels. I really do. That's actually my main goal is to have them understand what game feels are. Just to push a fun story and a fun experience, and that's kind of what with the Gold Cobra games. I think it's still running, right?
Yeah.
Strix was talking about, how do you make a game? Like I don't understand. Like where do I even start? It's like start with an experience. Like what do you want people to feel? And that's kind of how I was approaching the D&D campaign. That's still in my head. I want people to know what it's like to lose your memory and have no choice. But at what point do you decide to take control of what's been thrown at you? You know.
That's great. That's a really tough
Hard one, yeah. That's why it's still in my
thing
head.
to sort of like
Yeah.
kind of virtualize. Like how do you simulate that experience?
Yeah.
That's very
sure.
challenging.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great
Yeah.
to challenge yourself.
But it's also a challenge that game to experience that. You don't just,
Yeah, it's not like,
Yeah, you gotta
let's
push it
just
a
go
certain
save
way.
the world and kill the
Yeah.
bad lizard people.
Oh, hey!
Hey!
Lisa?
Annabird!
Oh.
8 months! Ooh, look at all
Hey.
these 8 months today. This is awesome. 8-month Monday. Yeah. That's awesome.
Characters don't really die. Yeah, I don't think so. I think they kind of reincarnate themselves over and over again, because that's kind of what you're doing. It's the same thing, so it's like in mythology, like to me, I think monsters are a way that we learn to understand ourselves, and I think creating RP characters is the same, kind of along that vein of exploration.
Also, what Prosperous Guard said also applies to real people.
What?
About characters not dying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone lives on through their actions and
The stories that people tell.
ramifications. Yeah, and like the effect they've had on the world.
Moving on to the hair. So this is
I'm
like
just gonna groove to the music.
crazy. That's fine.
Ooh.
I need to get some water. There you are.
Also, what's interesting is I always appreciate and almost always take the role of the antagonist of the group. Like, I love characters who stir everything up for other people and like force them into bad situations, because that's when you see, what people are made of. Is when they're
Yeah, the
compromised.
core of what they are and their beliefs.
Yep.
What are you willing to sacrifice to get this done? Oh, everyone. Cool.
Oh, okay.
everybody.
Oh, I'm
That's
glad that
really
we've
nice.
been sleeping next to each other every night, along this adventure, and I've trusted you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, everyone. That's nice to know. Thanks.
It's like, wait, you're just gonna bring these children to the altar of the blood god just so we can get a magical artifact?
Oh yeah, and like one of our druids is like, I'm not like socialized to this stuff, but I'm gonna bring this Nothic home as a pet. Yeah. You know what my rogue did? I fucking went into the basement and killed it. I wasn't gonna have any of that shit. Come on. I don't have time for that.
I was just thinking about one of my characters who was like a goblin tinkerer, and he like got knocked out, and so one of the other characters was forced to carry him as like the ground was splitting and lava was flowing out,
Yeah.
and he used his last magic spell to ferry my character's body across like a river of lava,
Wow.
and then he was left to have to jump the chasm without any magical aid, and he didn't make it all the way, and he lost one of his legs.
Oh
because
shit!
It fell into the lava. It was, it
Oh,
was
so he like
perfect.
Anakin'd it, huh?
He way better than Anakin.
Oh, well, obviously.
No,
I mean, no.
It was a beautiful heroic act, and then of
Yeah.
course, so then there's like, wow. So then my Goblin Tinkerer like tried to put together a sort of like steam-powered leg for him to
Yeah.
have out of like armor and
That's super
magic.
cool. That's super cool.
Yeah, playing games are awesome. What kind of role-playing games do you guys play in chat? If you do, like,
Yeah.
are you what kind of games are you into? You into freeform? Are you into like the classics?
What
Are you into,
are
new
any like
experimental
games
stuff?
that like really like hit you from our channel? Because like we have weekly affirmations. There's a lot of really cool freeform indie games.
Seriously, everyone should play that Ghost game we played last week.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could just try to mirror Jim Stewart Allen's actions for like 40 minutes and have a great time. That was a really fun way to begin. Yeah, I love those characters who are too curious and reckless for their own good because they force you into great
They
situations.
push story in they're one of the ways to push stories.
Mm-hmm.
Not the only way, but a very interesting way to push story.
Oh my gosh, Parvis, you should get a copy of Microscope. I got one when I was at Gen Con, and it is such a good read. Like, just reading it is fun, let alone playing it. I know a lot of people around here are like big into White Wolf games.
Yeah.
But I've never played one, but I've heard it's like a ton of fun if you're
Yeah.
really into storytelling. And one day, maybe I will.
Exalted, I think, was White Wolf too. You
Mhm.
can pick that up. That book is like 600 pages though.
But Tyler's a huge fan, so
Yeah.
Tyler likes it then.
The epicness of that, Talon climbing up the mech thing is absolutely like an Exalted thing. It's absolutely Exalted.
Yep, it was like just larger than life.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything epic, do it. Yes, like there are these. Then that's what I love. Kill 6 billion demons. It's like everything in that comic has an Exalted charm. Everything about it feels very Exalted. This is super cool. It's so cool. So I'm really excited to play with Tyler.
Shadow of the Mechlossus. Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
It was.
Totally
Yes,
was.
and I'm glad every single person who freaking got that too. It was so good. It was like, wow, well done. Like, character moment. MVP is that moment.
Yo, Lumiere, we actually have played Werewolf. We played One Night Werewolf on this channel months and months ago, actually. It was myself, Anna, Malika, Zach, Emily, I think, and Patrick. By the way, guys, Tuesday night we are doing a special Games and Grub family tabletop edition where we're going to be playing a bunch of cool new and beloved tabletop games here after the Gauntlet. So that's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be myself, Emily, Zach, Malika, and Claudia all playing games around the table and filling our faces. Whoa!
What? Who's
He's
there?
here.
Ugh.
Don't breathe. He'll suck out your soul. What kind of role-playing games have you played before playing Vanquished? Valiant.
I had been on one episode of a Hodgepodge Critical Role, 2 technically for charity. 1 for charity, 1 as a fill-in, and that was it. So nothing really.
That explains your lack of empathy.
Nope, I've just had to give people notes and tell them how to do them better for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Not actually been on them.
That's interesting though, because all that observation clearly has taught you something. Not to mention,
It has to. It has to.
yeah. If you were going to be critiquing someone, you have to know something about what they're doing. Plus,
You
like
also
having a background
kinda
in film
know
probably.
what
helps, too.
what works and what sort of could be done better to work too, right?
I've seen how it can fail.
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you think are the main reasons that a role-playing game can fail?
Okay, no. Define the split between role playing at home and role playing to like
okay,
Twitch.
well that's a big difference.
Very big
There's
difference.
a giant
So,
difference
talk
between
about-
role playing
Yeah.
for an entertainment venue and role playing
Yeah.
with your friends.
True.
The way we play, a lot of our games would not be that much fun for people to play at home. Because the objective isn't to win. Most games, your objective is to win. And that is not our objective here. It is to entertain and to keep you surprised and on your toes and learning and growing and having a story that you're sharing with the characters on screen, which means you have to...
It's a vehicle for improvised storytelling.
It's a vehicle for improvised storytelling, and if you go into it like it's a game, there's a lot of people that are streaming just straight up RPGs on Twitch right now, and
Which
I've watched a lot
Yeah.
of them, and I've done my research, and I'm not gonna name names because that would be rude, but
Yeah.
I have watched a lot that are they're so focused on winning, and they're so focused on completing an objective that lies in front of them, it's not as much fun to watch. And I've also seen stuff where like people are checking their phones, they're reading their chat room, they're not in it. I've seen it done poorly so much on the platform, and I think
Kinda
treating it
becoming a
like
trend.
theater, treating it like live theater, I think is the best way to go, because
Yeah.
then you get to share an experience with the characters as they're having that experience, and it keeps you in the moment. and you can like stay locked into that moment.
Which is why we don't get chat at all when we're actually on
I don't want
Which is
you
why
guys to have
we're
chat.
not allowed to see chat. And it does help because otherwise, I don't know, I would probably break characters so
Yeah, it
much.
can be very distracting.
So it is weird.
For
It's
example, we did have Lauren here, and like the Legion had the donations, and like it was exciting, but it was like holy shit, that was like a lot of emotion to process. you don't just keep going and ignore all those donations popping up over and over again.
Yeah, it can be distracting.
It can be extremely distracting. It can take you out of the moment. What other people don't realize, sometimes they think they're helping with donations. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're adding to the experience. Like when White Rabbit throws out an occasional troll
Yeah.
to Mitch.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Or he
It's great.
also trolled the voice of Teddy too,
Right.
which was
So-
beautiful. It was so
But
beautiful.
if every single person donating is trying to break the game like that, it becomes a hindering experience. So sometimes it is better for people to just interact in a way that's like, here's your buff, that's it. Because if every single person's trying to be the star of the show, it can be detrimental. So
Yeah, I mean then you're splitting focus very much.
yeah. But there's, like I said, there's definitely a giant difference between playing at home and playing on Twitch. Now, if your goal for playing on Twitch is to just play with your friends, then you're not doing it wrong.
no,
It's
no,
not
no,
necessarily
absolutely not.
wrong.
Yeah.
You just
It's-
have
it's
different
more
objectives.
what your goal is. Our objective is to be an entertainment company, so we have to come at it from how do we make this the most entertaining thing possible. And there's a lot of different factors that go into it. It's kind of like filmmaking. It's kind of like improv. It's kind of like group writing session. But at the end of the day, there's still this element of chaos because there's dice involved.
Oh
Right?
god,
Which
yeah.
is the most interesting aspect of it all. So it's like, it's a
Oh,
game,
yeah.
but it's not a game. It's improvised storytelling, but there's these fucking dice in your hand
Dude, they're
that
so
can change everything in a second.
It's great because it allows you to never be too comfortable.
No.
Oh, never.
And then like all our plans sometimes, like we plan like mellow episodes, but they always turn out to be super dramatic. They always freaking turn out to be the most dramatic episodes, and we don't freaking plan for them. Like the Lazaroth episode, not
Oh,
planned.
yeah.
It was supposed to be a chill one-shot episode. She wasn't supposed to live. Nope.
And then she was there for the 2-part finale.
Yeah, no, she's there.
Speaking of which, we've got the new volume tonight.
Yeah.
Now, being that it's a volume 1, there's not going to be too much battle in it because you got to reestablish the new world,
Right.
recon and stuff like that. But that being said, I feel like we should put some goals tonight, and maybe there should be like, if we hit a certain amount, this kind of thing will happen, and we won't tell the players.
Oh, kind of like Mecha Kaiju kind of thing.
Like, we could tell you guys now, kind of thing, but we don't tell the players.
So they have
that
no
if we
idea.
reach a certain amount, this fucking thing might happen, or will happen.
I dig that. I like having
Yeah, I
those
like that.
goals.
I like the bit of chaos.
You know, and then you're building. You know,
Right,
what you're
because I
building
know
towards.
there's not going to be much battle tonight, and I know that there's not going to be an opportunity to use a ton of plot points because it's more of a, like,
Establishing.
reflection of, holy fuck, what do we do now? We just landed in the past, like in 2014. So it makes me wonder if we should... If we should set a goal. What kind of chaos could I bring into their world if we hit a certain goal? Without breaking the story.
Probably can't be Mecha Stalin then.
No, it can't be Mecha Stalin. It has to fit into the world.
But Mecha Stalin's so much fun.
I question you a lot. I question your ideas. Right,
I have a goal.
right.
I have
Whoa!
a goal.
Wait,
Right,
I have a goal.
questionable
Wilder
guy.
1251.
Okay, I have
8
a goal.
months.
I have a goal.
What?
I have a goal. I
What?
have a goal.
What?
Nobody say anything. This is between us. We can say it here, and then when the show starts tonight, you can start posting it in chat because they won't be able to see it. If we raise $1,500 tonight,
Oh god.
if we raise $1,500 tonight, Archer will show up,
Oh shit.
and I can perfectly build that into the story.
Whoa.
So if we raise $1,500 tonight on Vanquish, Archer will make an appearance. I could build that in. I could do that.
The
That's
big
something
guy.
that's something that could like that. No, you're thinking of Armstrong.
No, I meant like he's a big player.
He is a big player.
Not physically big.
But
I know,
but
I've been
But
watching.
he is a very big PC. Yes. That'd be cool.
That'd be crazy. What would he even be doing?
Oh,
I don't know.
exactly-
I don't know.
I know how it works.
It's all
I
up
could
there.
I could definitely see it working with this timeline. And some of you, if you've read, if you've read the books, everyone but Terra and Rosalind will lose their shit.
Oh, this is too real.
Ouch!
Incorrect. Terra is
Is
playing
reading.
in character. She's actually read all the old Valiant.
Yeah. She's attached to Geek Girl.
She fooled
fine.
you.
So,
Because she was acting.
I wouldn't... Yeah. I have a lot of respect for Tara.
I could build other goals on top of that
very
too.
cool. I really like Tara.
Yeah, where do you go with that?
I could build on top of that. If it's like that could be like 1500 at 2K. It could not just be Archer, but it could also be now we're getting into sect territory, which is really great because the sects are fucking weird and really funny. So there's the hashish,
The dope smokers?
the dope smoking sect. There's the master builders, which are kind of like making fun of the
Masons?
Masons.
Okay.
There's the 1%,
Oh god.
which is the Wall Street guys.
Sure. It's true, the cast will have no idea what donations you're sending, even if you're trying to warn them or excite them.
Hooves are really weird, by the way.
Also, this Lamasu,
It's really cool.
really freaking good.
I like that.
All right, that's the challenge. 1500 Archer shows up. 2K Archer plus the sect.
Yeah, you guys do it. It's gonna be so fun. Be in
That's
on
intense.
the joke.
Which sect? Might have to leave up to me.
I like that. We should know which sect.
Yeah. Tucky Carriage says they GM a D&D 5e game, but I'm now working on coding a Roll20 character sheet for Valiant because of Vanquish, so anyone that wants to play Valiant more easily on Roll20. Hey, Tech Care,
Cool. That's
awesome.
you should
Pretty
actually
cool.
message Roll20 because they're working on a Q system plugin. You should probably message them, tell them you're a fan of Hyper RPG, and that I told them you to contact kind of thing, because they told me last I talked to them that they were working on something so we could start using. My long-term goal on the show is to have the Roll20 touch table from Messamundi with the Q system on it, and we could actually have our players on a digital touchscreen because they really want to map, and I don't want to be like, for that show especially, I don't want to have like physical maps and shit like that. Like the idea of just being able to move them around on a digital screen that I can load up new stuff and move around with is better for me because we want to focus on story and not mechanics.
Not like
Yeah.
nitty gritty.
No nitty gritty. That show's not about nitty gritty.
It's about dick punching.
It's about dick punching and dropping things into the abyss, which changed an entire ending of a volume.
Yeah, you gotta be careful
Hey
about
man,
planning when
you
you're
wreak chaos,
GMing.
you wreak havoc. That's kind
Oh
of.
no, that's what I mean. It's like it's
that's
improvised
like the-
theater, but at the end of the day,
That's
there's
the
only
other
so
side
much.
of the GM. You think like people who approach GM with like I'm in control, and you're like you sort of are, but at some point something fun's gonna happen because there's some things that you literally cannot make up, and that's the reason why you play with other people because there's some things you just couldn't have made up otherwise,
Yeah.
and it's
Well, yeah,
fun.
that's what's
It's
fun
so
about it.
fun, yeah.
That collective storytelling
Yeah,
aspect. Is
like
really
the
fun.
let's see, the beta thing in DFA, like, oh, there are more people. Should I shoot them all? Yes. Wait, no, wait, are they our friends? Yes. Damn it, like.
Dude,
Tyler would have let that happen. You know that,
The
right?
best
Tyler
part-
would have let that happen.
Yeah.
And I almost lost all my friends. Like, holy shit, it was so scary.
Dude, AJ was like, man, I would have killed all of them.
Yeah, and Tyler would have let it
He
happen.
was so into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And
actually,
it was,
my favorite moment of the night is when Mitch called beta in before he was actually
Yeah.
ready for him. That was probably my favorite moment of the night.
yeah, that was beautiful.
I love imagining in those moments, first-time viewers be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
Anytime we have front page and DFA is on, I love that.
Ooh.
Humble Jumble
Bumble
Bumble.
Bumble! Thank you for purchasing that Humble Bumble Bumble. We are actually partnered with Humble Bundle, so if you want to get the new Humble Bundle Jumbo Bundle number 7, or you want to get the new Humble Mobile Bundle,
Bumble Bundle.
then scroll down on our channel page, click it, and you can actually support Hyper RPG and the Halo Foundation at the same time.
Ooh,
but there are many
yeah.
other great foundations that are part of that. You can choose where the money goes. You can give the money to the developer, you can give the money to Humble Bundle, you can give the money to any of the charities that it's in cooperation with, or you can give it to Hyper RPG. Whoever you want to support, it's up to you, and you get cool games.
Yeah. Lamasu. Such a cute face.
So, there's gonna be a battle at some point this week between Team Shirts and Team Skins on Miscreated, and
Almost forgot about that.
yeah, you almost forgot about that, didn't you? So, it's been really interesting to see how things are going so far. Team Shirts is like hardcore builders. They're building. They are building, and there's a little bit more seriousness
Of
taken
course,
in
Team
there.
Shirts is fixated on the material.
Right. Team Skins mainly runs around in vehicles ramming shit and tipping things over and gathering weapons, riding four-wheelers, and taking buses up steep inclines.
They appreciate the joys of the ephemeral.
Right, and the base is like not even a base. There's like a wall and one tower, nothing's enclosed. And when you go by Shirt's location, it's all like this giant base that's been really meticulously planned. You go up to Skin's location, and it's a trailer with a bunch of tents, one wall, and a bunch of weapons thrown out on a table. And you're like, this is exactly what I had hoped for. This is what I had dreamed of. This is a for real redneck showdown. Like, it's exactly what I wanted
Redneck
it.
Simulator 2016.
Redneck Simulator.
Yeah, Oculus says, I feel like we're already creating a class system. So I will release the rules for how that battle is going to go down the day of, because I don't want anyone preemptively planning. So that it's not going to be exactly what they think it's going to be.
It's not gonna be, you don't line up, you know, and each team takes a round to shoot.
No. They did build me a white Mercedes, though, that I've been having a lot of fun with. A lot of fun. And then I just steal my team's four-wheeler and have fun with that.
So they
too.
just like build cool shit and you're like, oh, I'm gonna take that now.
Mainly it's just a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
Oh god, is it going to go all Lord of the Flies? It just might.
It's almost there.
It just might. It's really hard to build stuff in that world because you have to find blueprints for it. And we spend
Which are like rare
all our
drops,
time
basically.
on and we spend most of our time on Team Skins riding around in vehicles, and I mean that's all I do. I get on, I grab the four-wheeler, and I just go roaming and run into zombies. I accidentally ran into a Team Shirt player the other day too on the four-wheeler.
Like random over?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
immediately
See?
they hopped
Yeah.
in the chat room like,
See?
someone attacked us! But
And it was you.
I couldn't remember where their base was, so I was just driving the four-wheeler down all the roads around Sultan, and then I went around a burnt card, and there was a Team Shirt in the road, and I hit him, and he went flying in the air, and then I just assumed their entire team, since their base was right there, was gonna start shooting at me, so I just drove away into the woods and drove off.
Dude, I didn't know you could run people over. The last time I saw you hit someone, you just like stopped.
Oh no, you can run them over. And so then I just went and I hid in the woods, and then I hopped out into Discord, and already somebody had posted like, somebody on Team Skins just ran somebody over, this is an act of war, blah, blah, blah.
God damn it, Zach.
The guys, it was an accident. I didn't see him around the burnt car because I only like to drive in first person mode.
Wow.
It's more fun when I can actually see my hands, and I
And it's
can
more
drive the
real when
car.
you hit the person you
And then
can't
it's more
freaking
real
see.
and you go, oh god! But I probably got more scared than the person that got hit, because the second I hit him, I was like, oh fuck, the whole team's gonna start shooting at me. I gotta run. I have too much gear on me. Oh fuck.
Real life, man. Real life. Oh shit! Oh, I gotta leave. Gotta leave. Bye.
Sultan shakes her head. Okay, so it's not Sultan. What's the name of the town? I don't know. I'm not reading the road signs. I literally just ride around on a four-wheeler and run over zombies. That's
It's all about the thrills of
it's all,
four-wheeling.
yeah, for me it is like living out my
Hillbilly
it's living out
Murder
the redneck
hillbilly.
lifestyle.
Have you ever
Redneck
played like
hillbilly
ATV racing
lifestyle.
games?
Yeah.
Oh god, this is really
Okay.
scary this big. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
But
Look
what
at
I
this.
like about this one is it's a really quiet game for the most part.
Mhm. You're just
And
like
the Crisis
chilling.
Engine. Okay, so this is the Zack No Man's Sky.
Interesting.
Interesting.
That's what it is for me. It's that kind of redneck and hillbilly. All the like spray paint on the walls and the broke down vehicles in front of people's trailers. It's like this was my childhood.
If it was No Man's Sky, wouldn't you have been like really excited about the game for like months and months, and
Oh,
then
okay,
like
yeah,
hated
yeah.
it?
Whoa,
when it came
whoa,
out?
whoa,
What I mean by that
whoa,
is-
whoa, whoa! So much.
What
shade.
I mean by that is where other people get excited or chill when they play No Man's Sky. They just get to chill out and travel through space, and it's their zen, where they just kind of zone out and just start mining and driving through space. That's what I've been doing in Miscreated. I've been hopping on at weird hours just to see how everybody's doing, and I'll like check out what they've done to the pace, and then I'll just hop on the 4-wheeler and just drive for an hour and then turn it off and go to bed. Just to take my shirt off and ride through the woods, see how fast I can dodge through the trees.
Or how fast you can hit people.
This is Inner Zack's emulator, actually.
Yeah, basically. It's Inner Zack emulator. And then I'll meet somebody on the road who's running, like, hey man, hop on the back.
You going into town? That's great.
We used to ride our 4-wheelers on the highway back home. It wasn't illegal back then. It was a good time.
Good old days.
The good old days. Which was like 2002 for everyone else. And illegal everywhere else.
Also, I
Yeah,
noticed
that's good.
someone dropped the link into chat for Trivia Hops this week. So Trivia Hops this week is going to be all Keanu. So whether it's Keanu the movie, whether it's any movie Keanu Reeves has ever been in, whether it's that terrible band Keanu Reeves played bass in, all of that is up for grabs.
Oh, wow.
Please put in
We
your
definitely
favorite
need a
Keanu.
donation thing to where you have to do your best Keanu impression,
Whoa.
which would
Whoa.
always be the exact same thing.
Whoa.
With no variance whatsoever.
Yeah, just like him.
What do you mean?
So that's going to be awesome. So please send in your submissions.
Did you see Keanu, the movie?
No.
Kitten?
I don't even know that
The
they
name the cat
existed.
Keanu?
No.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
You
That
know-
feels like an episode of Key and Peele. So.
Yeah, that's always like the tough thing about like sketch shows that turn into like movies. I'm like, oh, that's
It was
a
only
hard.
supposed to live this
hard thing to
long,
pull
and now
off.
it's like way
How long
past.
before Zach starts living out Roadhouse on Miscreated? Surprise! There's a part of Roadhouse in the show tonight.
Who's getting kicked in the throat?
Nobody. Humba bunda dumba bumba bumba bum.
Jumbo Bumbo.
Yeah, I may or may not have thrown something from Roadhouse into the show
Are
tonight.
there gonna be a lot of like white, short sleeve, deep, like?
Have you watched
necked-
it yet?
I've seen it like once, but it was very forgettable.
Yikes.
You forgot that scene where Patrick Swayze is in his whitey tighties, like in the barn? Dude, don't even need fucking electricity and shit. He's all like
It's been a long time.
mullet and whitey tighties in the sunlight. It's pretty majestic.
Clearly, it didn't have the same effect on me as it did on you. Sounds like a pretty special.
He is what every man aspires to be.
Man,
you see?
retarded.
He has a degree in philosophy.
I
And a
think it was a
gorgeous
degree in
mullet.
manliness.
A degree in philosophy.
A
but he
glistening mullet.
chooses the nihilistic path of being a bouncer in a bar.
Oh, please.
just like all our favorite
While practicing his
philosophers.
Tai Chi, living in a bar next to a river. He's the quintessential man's man.
So okay, it's because he's like a pretentious redneck. That's why
Yes,
you like him. Oh my
100%.
god, that all makes sense.
pain don't hurt.
He's the hipster redneck, that's why. That's why Zach is all.
No, this was before the time of hipsters. That's just pure.
So that's how
He's
you
just
know.
all-
pure
no, I
genuine.
just hear the
He's
swoon.
just purely genuine
I hear the
man.
swoon in your voice.
Look, I'm just saying.
And no, it's
That
fine.
man-
It's fine.
Didn't just save the cat at the beginning.
Oh Jesus.
He saved your soul.
He saved numerous people. Like, there's at least 4 Save
He
the Cat
saved
scenes
his soul.
before you even learn who the fuck this guy is as a character. They wanted you to love him so much and all of his amazing man-like beauty.
So we've heard a lot.
He literally
about
just like, on a whim, decides to take this job to help a friend. On his way out of town, I've got this nice car, I'm gonna give it to this homeless man. Literally saves another person. Like,
it. So he's redneck Jesus.
yes! Yes! He cleaned up the double deuce. Yeah, gave a homeless person his car.
Wow.
Just saying. Someone we should all aspire to be.
Is this your favorite Swayze movie?
Yes, 100%. Even more than Ghost.
Oh my God, what?
Pretty neck and
I
neck.
hate you. Why do you just want to hurt me, Zach? God damn it.
I care about you, darling. Bullshit.
Wow. I love the malice in his
We've got
voice.
entirely too many troublemakers here.
So Zach, when are we watching Roadhouse with the chat soon, my friend?
Yeah, that should happen. I'd be down with that. We also, this would be perfect, like movie night. Have everyone get on the couch and hang out.
Fuck Roadhouse.
Sure, it can even be Roadhouse.
Okay, if we get over 2K for Vanquish, will Zach add in Redneck Jesus?
Ooh,
Now there's a question.
now that.
2K for Redneck Jesus.
We'd have to hit it by a certain point though, because I'd have to like make it work into the
That's
story.
true. It's like 8:30.
At the very end, it's like, God.
And then the clouds
Okay, the
opened
clouds
up,
part and Dalton comes rising down from the sky.
and he says, "Blessed be the high kicks."
Says, pain don't hurt. Pain don't hurt. Think about it for a second.
Pain don't hurt.
Think about it for a second. There is so much weight in that statement. So much underlying meaning in that statement. Pain don't hurt. It sounds like a double negative, but it's not. It's a double positive.
I'm speechless.
I have, yeah.
Yeah,
there are
I'm
no words.
speechless. Thank you.
You lost
Thank
me.
you for that.
I like Final Fantasy Master. Does adding Redneck Jesus even need to be a goal? Doesn't Zach just want to do that on his own?
Yeah, I did, yeah, yep.
Hey! Woo! Bumba, 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 bumba. Woo!
Is that what keeps happening?
Yeah.
Oh.
Look. You know, sometimes we do things in our life that we're not necessarily proud of.
Does this connect back to Hillbilly Jesus, or
I'm waiting.
is that where that's connecting
Like
to? Or?
ripping out a guy's throat. And it haunts you every day. But then when some dude says, I fuck guys like you in prison, well, you rip the throat out. These are all
No,
lessons.
not really. Man's search for faith.
These are
Wow.
some terrible clips.
Yeah.
They're missing the point. Literally just like 5 words. Yeah, you got the point. See, I want you to be nice till it's time to not be nice. Whoever wrote that fucking script. Whoever wrote that script.
Could have been like, maybe Matthew or Luke or John.
No, it was probably like,
It wasn't Joss Whedon, that's for sure.
no, my guess is it was a Jewish man sitting in a coffee shop in Los Angeles. 100%. Because, okay, and I know that's true for the most part because the reason I show that movie to all my friends who I meet from overseas, who don't, like, have never experienced the Midwest or anything like that, I'm like, I show them the movie and I tell them, like, this is the America wanted to be.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
Like,
that is not the
it's not the
Midwestern
America-
experience I had.
I'm
No,
like,
it's
who
the
are? Why are you
America
misleading all of these
wants to
people?
believe
You're terrible.
exists and believe deep down that it is the
Like a
underdog,
haunted-
the good old guy that stands up for anyone that might need help in a time of need, while also being a rough and tough, wild kind of Wild West. You know, like we're gonna party hard, but you're always gonna stand up for what's right and help the little man and fight against tyranny and big capital. You know, it's just like taking
Sounds
down
like
A Republican's
America.
wet dream.
America.
not America.
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 And it's, to me, a brilliant example of some writer from the outside going, how do we make this current trend? You know, Westerns aren't being made anymore. Like, what do we
This is
capture from
Ronald
that?
Reagan's
Like,
America.
Exactly. This is Ronald Reagan's America.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I love that.
America.
I love that quote. If a man tries to hurt you, you just go ahead and hurt him right back. Joss Whedon.
In Working Class Hero
Damn.
3, you forgot walking around in your tidy whities. Well, that's another big part of Patrick Swayze in that movie. He's
That's a big part of Patrick Swayze.
proud of them whitey tidies.
It's up
And
there.
so
It's
was
like,
the leading female.
so-
She wore those high-waisted whitey tidies
Now-
with pride.
What is the whitey tidy
Fixation.
obsession?
I asked the 80s, man.
Ripley and Alien.
True.
Come
Yeah,
on, that
true.
was on point. Sorry.
That sounds like
My
Falling Down.
personal
Okay,
opinion.
Falling
Very
Down
on
is
point.
another brilliant fucking movie that hits harder now than it did back then.
Wait,
What
which
is
movie?
it?
Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
I've never heard of it.
Holy fuck, man.
I'm just thinking about
That movie is... You guys haven't seen Falling Down?
No.
My mind goes to Top Gun when you say like America, what it wants to be.
No, that's
In the
homoerotica America.
That's America in the 80s.
That's American.
It's just like very repressed.
Yeah.
Repressed?
Yeah.
Repressed?
Well,
The 80s? That was the land of excess. Our fashion, our music, the cocaine. That was
Okay,
our
but-
economy.
Yeah, but there
Okay.
still wasn't like widespread acceptance.
I would say, if anything, 2000s were when we
No.
turned to repression.
No,
Bush
no,
came
no,
in
no,
and
no, no,
things
no.
started getting repressed like a motherfucker.
No way, because in the 80s people were doing all that shit, but they weren't admitting they were doing
Yeah.
it. It was all
Everything
like
was
the
super
hedge
on the
fund
down low.
managers and their mistresses blowing a bunch of coke and then coming home to their family. And
I
playing
would
like they're a
argue
good guy.
against that. I feel like the fashion and the music and the money were all so liberally used to great extents.
Sure, but that was like that was being reflected in the sort of artistic culture. But I don't know if that was like what was happening at home.
I don't know. The way I saw it was the 80s were a time of excess, and then things got fairly loosey-goosey for a while, and then Bush came into presidency, Bush Jr., and stuff kind of like, whoa, put the brakes on science, technology, liberalism, free thinking. Let's
Let's
remind ourselves.
Let's step back a few
Let's
decades.
step back a little while, and let the rest of the world sprint ahead of us while we reassess our values.
Because you know,
It
why
was like-
stop a good thing?
Because even though Reagan didn't really help the lower class that much.
Yo, but
thanks.
Couch Warrior 3000, thanks for 2 months.
Yeah.
You are helping.
People like.
Woo! And OTC 316.
Thanks you guys for helping
Hold on.
keep our community alive in this channel
Yeah,
running.
cocaine was even
Thank
in
you so
Crocodile
much.
Dundee. I think it was a part of the whole zeitgeist. A PG movie.
See, but that's what I'm saying is there was a duality. It was like there was a like
fucking RoboCop.
there were things
motherfuckers.
being thrown in your
Yeah,
face and then
that's-
things
yeah.
being like hidden and not
there
part
were
of.
some things that were just like, here we're just going fucking all out, and then all of the actual like feelings about those things were still repressed.
I feel like this is one of those topics that you guys might be too young to
That's actually something I was gonna say too. Is that
You were too young in the 80s too. That's total bullshit.
I don't remember any of the 80s.
I
I'm
remember
okay
How
with
old were
it.
you in the 80s then?
I remember
I got up to
Poltergeist.
6.
So you really have an
Knee
idea.
deep in that cocaine.
Oh my god.
I remember watching Poltergeist and then like years later realized it was PG and I was like, everything kind of makes sense now. Yeah. It's crazy because that movie is terrifying.
I think it was the 90s
old
and the
school
early
PG
2000s
though.
Yeah,
that
old
started
school
the
PG, which is crazy.
overparenting,
The
the
late 90s.
over-policing. It wasn't the 80s that started doing that.
No.
It
No.
was definitely
No, I
the
agree
late
with that.
90s. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I agree.
Because you hit a certain period, a point in time in the 90s, and everything's like, oh no, stranger danger is like.
That's because people were getting kidnapped off their streets.
They've always have been.
No,
Now you
no,
just have
that's not
global
true.
media to let you know
No,
about
no,
it.
I've been doing research on this lately, but it's true. Like serial killers weren't even really a thing that people thought about until like the 70s.
But why
Jack the
is that
Ripper?
though?
That's
There
like
must
one.
be. There must
There
be.
weren't that
One
many.
is documented.
Like,
Yeah, that's the
that-
reason
yeah,
why.
no,
There was
but-
reported, it was documented. Silence of the Lambs, like.
Great movie, by the way.
But there
Yeah,
was all
but
this
it's
like
based on
new
a real murder
technology.
and real people like killed. And the thing is, like, horrible things. We've always been doing horrible things to each other. I don't really know exactly. Maybe it's because the structure of family life became more important back then too. I don't know. I don't think it's just that kidnappings.
People
you know.
like
People have always been
disappeared
killing
and
and disappearing all the time. Like. That's what voodoo was. That was the fear of voodoo. Like, that kind of stuff. Warlocks existed because that's what they did.
I don't know, there has to be a
So.
certain amount of trust in the world just to be like.
Iceland! Like Iceland, they
Yeah.
park their babies outside.
That's true.
Right?
See, the thing was, in Arkansas, everything was really far behind to the rest of the world until the internet. And the second the internet hit, things changed in a flash. And they realized, oh, fuck, we have to change how we're doing everything. No, you're not allowed to ride on the back of the truck anymore with the tailgate down and go down the highway at 60 miles per hour. No, you might get hurt. Well, no shit. We were always probably about to get hurt.
You're always on the verge of dying.
always
but
on the
then
verge of death.
But then the knowledge of knowing that you were is what
But we
triggers
came
that.
out of that a little fucking tougher. Like,
Character
no
building.
shit.
Like,
Whenever people
like the children who grow up watching Watership Down are very different than the ones today. That's all I'm gonna say.
With that being said, it goes both ways. I do agree.
Hey!
So
I
like
think
we're back
it
to
goes
Zach's
both
parenting
ways
tips?
because
Always be on the verge of
though I had
anyway.
movies like RoboCop, I understood it was a film and it was fantasy.
Yeah.
I had that. Now, as a child, you can get on Facebook and see a beheading of someone,
Yeah.
and that's not fantasy.
No.
From Dusk to Dawn, I remember watching that as like a 5-year-old.
Oh, yeah, me.
Like, but no, it was just
That
like
movie.
This dick shoots with a machine gun!
That's a great movie.
yeah, and it's
Now that's
like.
cinema right
And
there.
when you're
Cinema.
like that age,
That
you're like,
foot
oh,
scene.
okay, that's a thing. But like, you know, it's not real because it's a movie. Like,
It was a fantasy element
Yeah.
that was easier to, at least for my young brain, it was like, obviously this is a film. Yes, I have my own gun at the age of 5, but I've been taught how to use it
Yeah.
properly.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Same with video games. People are like, oh, you know, video games promote
I got my
violence.
first gun
I'm
when I
like,
was
you're
5,
a
what?
liar.
I was gifted
Am I
a
saying
gun when I was
anything?
5. I saw that
Okay,
look on your
hey,
face.
my dad taught me how to take apart a 9mm when I was 13 because I could finally remove the chamber.
There you go.
Damn.
Some
and
of us.
And I know how to do 22 caliber when I was about 8. 13 was when I got my 9mm. So come on. Like,
Yeah, but
Some
his
of us-
own.
yeah,
Some of us
That's
had
all.
experience.
it's true.
Was it like a little child size?
With 22 caliber?
No, what I had, yes, that's what's funny, is it was a child's gun. Still shot 22 rounds, but
yeah,
it was
no, my dad
for
gave me. Yeah.
someone 8 or younger.
Oh, what?
They don't even make these anymore.
No, they don't. That sounds illegal.
Wow, that's like.
That sounds so illegal.
80s!
The 80s.
Did it come with like a child cigarette too?
Like those mini, those party cigars. Those party cigars.
technically, maybe
Baby's
candy
first
cigarettes.
smoke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
Candy
no,
cigarettes.
Oh man,
they did.
candy cigarettes were my
Okay,
favorite
so
candy
cigars.
I didn't put my hands on a handgun until I was 8.
Yeah.
So it was like at 5,
See, same.
22.
You are
younger,
mature enough. by
Yeah,
now.
I'm mature 8.
handgun.
Well,
But then
no,
by the age of
because-
9, I was taught how to make my own rounds, how to create my own black powder rounds, to
Technically-
do hot rounds, how to build my own bullets.
But we're also
8
taught.
years old is the age where kids should know better.
No, that's not
According
true.
to the
no,
Mormon
no.
Church.
So also,
Mormon Church.
At 8,
I know
you
that
were-
I still shot a couple animals in the face and had to learn the hard way that that animal's now dead, and I feel
Yeah.
really uncomfortable with this situation.
Well,
you
that could
also
be a good
learn.
lesson to
You
learn.
pretty much also learn that you don't
Yeah, but is
point
that the
guns
best way
at
to teach
people
that
because
lesson?
Yeah, no.
it's a fucking weapon. Like what the hell? Of
I
course.
believe it's like a 5 or 6 years old where you should know better.
No. No,
Well,
you're
on-
brain.
on
I do
certain
not. I do
things,
not.
on-
No. I do
on
not
certain-
believe
on
anybody to know
certain-
it better.
Yeah, I
on
didn't know better
certain
when I
things.
stole the car twice.
Go
when I
sit
was
in a
7.
cafe and see how many people push in their chairs, how many
I
people
ran
leave
a
their
laundry
and tell me that people know better.
I said should know better.
Oh, motherfucker.
Not that they do, that they should.
No,
Deal with that later.
that's the path to disappointment.
Dude, your frontal cortex isn't even fully developed till you're in your 20s, and that's where all your most
My
important
frontal
decision-making
cortex still
ability comes
isn't
from.
fully developed.
That's because of all the Roadhouse.
Much for
Right, right.
happened?
Right, you poked my sandwich, kid, though.
Good thing our floors are mostly
The
clean.
cycle on us.
It's so sad.
I can save it.
Woo!
Thank you for the subscription. Apologize to Scott for ruining his sandwich.
Oh,
Oh,
how dare you? Okay.
how dare
Wow.
you?
Let me get someone to clean this up.
You are now a number, which means
Now you have to feed the arm.
now you gotta feed the arm.
Now you have to feed the arm.
Yes, whoever that is, your new role in the Yojimbo is definitely cleaning shit up.
Oh,
Damn.
damn! That
Okay.
sandwich,
Just kidding, we
That's
love
my-
you.
That's my new role at the Yojimbo.
That sandwich has been really important. Really
I'm trying to
special.
remember the worst thing I ever did as a kid to hurt someone else without realizing the power I had. And I remember the moment pretty well. I was in first grade, and we had just started making gangs
Wait,
in first grade.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
you know,
your
like,
clicks. Yeah, your
this
clicks.
boy's gang and with this boy's gang, and I was always kind of the nerd, and nobody liked me. And
Yeah, no one
And-
likes us.
one of the and at our big playground, which was massive, because it's rednecks, but there was like the
Probably
timeout
rednecks,
place next to the top of the hill that if you got in trouble you had to go sit at and all this other kind of stuff. And so the thing that the gang had just figured out is somebody's older brother had taught them how hurt somebody really bad by basically coming up behind them, taking their shoulders, and kneeing them in the back.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Really hard, and then pushing them to the ground.
Right in the spine.
Wow,
Jump on
brothers
them.
are the worst.
I remember that game.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so
I like
what
how
ended up
all of us
happening were a ton of people were just going around the playground and kicking the shit out of each other that way.
Oh my god.
And
Oh
then
my god.
they put me in a position where they were like, if you want to be a part of our gang, basically, if you want to be a part of the group, you have to do this to Jared, which is this other.
So you got
smart guy kid.
hazed.
Stupid.
I
You
got
got
hazed
hazed.
basically, and they were like, if you don't do it, then you're not a part of the gang either, and we'll attack you basically, and kind of put me on the spot. And I remember like what it felt like to like go up, and I actually was like, I'm sorry.
Oh.
And then I hit him in the back, and like he hit the ground and was crying, and I felt so fucking terrible. And I put my head down, and I walked myself up to the timeout area, and sat there. And then he got put in timeout too because the teachers didn't know that we weren't just like fighting. And I remember him just being like hated me for years.
Oh.
After that,
He should
just
have.
hated me, and I felt so terrible. And one of the girls, younger girls, that was also in the timeout area when I come up there was like, "You should feel really bad," and like telling me like that wasn't very nice. I was like, I know, and I just felt so fucking terrible because he cried because I. And it's like later on, I used to get beat up and get in fist fights with people and stuff. But it was like that moment was the one that was like, oh, I can actually hurt other people, and that in fact hurts me too.
Yeah, the
This
empathy
equals
thing,
bad.
yeah.
I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
That was like the first time I remember. Because little brothers were different. You beat the shit out of my little brother and be like, fuck you! No, fuck you!
And that's what I've realized with family. You treat them so much differently than you treat your like other people you know, because you can do such terrible things to them. You're like, well, we're family, you gotta love me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing, by the way.
Oh no, yeah,
I
that
did
is
not
not
see
how.
my family
That was not
like
allowed to do.
You mean your
to do
little
that
brother
kind of
didn't
shit.
drop a taco truck, knocking you unconscious
Didn't
when
have
you
a
were 8 years
little
old?
brother. Oh yeah. I
Man,
got
my brother was like really a genius. Like we were like
true.
3 years old. So I have a twin. So
Oh,
we're
really?
the same age, right? So yeah, there was a lot of like
Same beard?
They're just doing
No,
their
they
thing.
look very
Yeah,
different.
we do it very different. He's
Yeah.
taller than me.
Are you
He has short, dark
fraternal
hair.
Or
Fraternal.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he was really good, like, he's always been good at sleight of hand stuff. So my mom tells the story all the time of me chasing him because he stole one of my toys, and I'm chasing him. And as we're like running around the house, he did this quick little like whoop and dropped it. And I didn't notice. So we're still chasing him. And then my mom stops us in his line. I'm like, oh, he stole my thing. And she's like, Steven, empty your pockets. And he's got nothing. He's got fucking nothing. And it looks like I'm just
What?
chasing him for no reason. He's pretty diabolical.
Yeah, I had.
But he's a mad scientist these days.
My middle brother's the same way, and he's extremely diabolical, and he was mom's favorite, and he played that. He played that shit so hard, and he knew he could. And when I was little, I couldn't understand how they couldn't see it. No, this was Sam, my middle brother. And the fact that they couldn't see it used to drive me so nuts. And they were like, he's 4 years younger than you, stop taking advantage of him. I'm like, no, I'm the stupid one, remember? I'm the stupid one. He's the one that's... You tell him how
He's
smart he
taking
is.
advantage of me.
Oh no, I could never lay a hand on it because he knew how to like get
Milk
me in
it.
trouble.
He
so,
milked it,
He
huh?
milked it so hard, and he
Oh.
only got caught once.
Oh,
and our
yeah.
entire he did shit all the time. Like one time he turned on the mower while I was raking in the front. He turned on the mower and drove it on top of a giant pack of rocks to shoot a ton of rocks at me. 2 of them hit me on the head, and I'm bleeding and stuff. And he starts crying before I can even react and goes in and tells mom, I did an accident. The lawnmower, I turned it on. I'm so sorry. And then while he's crying and I'm bleeding and she's like, it's okay, he looks over at me and he's like,
Oh, what an ass.
he got caught one time doing that, and we used to both have separate Game Boys because we couldn't be trusted to have our own, 'cause we'd fight over everything. And I was playing mine and he was playing his, and he was mad at something. He'd get these diabolical things in his head, and he looked over at me, and he was on the swing set, and he just looks at me, and he grins, and he throws his Game Boy on the ground, while I'm like on the other side of the yard. And then he just starts screaming, and I run down, or my dad runs out, and mom runs out, and he starts yelling, he broke my Game Boy!
Oh,
broke my Game Boy!"
seriously?
And then
What?
I immediately get bent over my dad's lap and start getting the shit kicked out of me. And as I'm sitting there crying, he looks at me and smiles, and Dad saw him smile.
Ooh.
And it's the first time ever, and the only time I can remember him ever getting caught doing that shit. And at the time, what Dad had done when he like bent me over, he took my Game Boy. He's like, "You break somebody else's thing, and you have to give it." So he gave it to him. So he was in the background playing it and smiling, and Dad caught him, and then he got spanked really hard. But then every other time after, they'd be like, "No, he's doing the thing again! He's doing the thing again!" Whatever, they just thought I was like this terrible kid that was always doing the shit, and it was almost always him. He used to pee on me and shit. Like, we had this 12-foot tall deck, and he would yell for me from outside, and I'd come out the basement door, and then he'd start peeing on me, and then he'd laugh and run inside and start crying like I was gonna attack him.
I'm convinced that half the reason my brother turned out as well as he did is because he had 2 older sisters and not 2 older brothers.
Yeah.
We were pretty terrible to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time I ever injured one of my siblings was, you're gonna laugh, it was out of love. We were swinging him by the arms, and he was like 2 years old, and apparently 2-year-olds' arms are very soft.
Oh yeah.
And they can get kind of like pulled out of the socket really easily. So we were just like, "Yay! You're awesome! You're the cutest 2-year-old in the world!" And then all of a sudden, and he's just like, "Ow! Ow! Ow!" I must have been 6.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
A lot of people
8.
are pointing out though that sisters can just create a lot of emotional damage instead of physical damage.
Very possible.
That's very possible.
Oh no, that's
Very,
yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
Just ask my sister.
Oh,
Who,
so my
if you would
Brothers
remember,
are capable of
Scott,
that. That's just what Zach
I-
described his little brother doing
As
the
a
whole time.
child,
He didn't
I
hate
could
anybody.
make my sister cry by doing nothing, just staring at her as she yelled at me, and make no emotion, like that type of face, just like. And she'd get so angry she'd start to cry, and I would just smile and walk off.
God. I don't know
My
if you
brother
remember.
rides the line though. He's gay, so I think that he's riding that line between fucking me up emotionally and physically at the same time. All makes sense. He's
Best of
just-
both worlds.
He's a big bear now, and he's. Boy, he used to fucking drop Tonka trucks on my head. I got sent to the hospital because he lit a firework off of my eye.
Oh my god.
what?
My right eye. He put a bottle rocket out that was lit, and it right in my face.
This just sounds like stupidity and not.
Well, that's a lot of it. We're
Okay.
kids in Arkansas.
Sure.
Can't like really understand like the real.
Why do you think they
consequences
do
of your
nothing but
actions.
meth labs in Arizona? What else are you gonna do out
Nothing
there?
else to do.
What else is there to
Meth
do in
labs.
September? Shoot the leftover fireworks. from July.
Obviously.
Was
Yeah,
so
why
mad.
you hadn't shot them off already is beyond me.
Most of them would get in trouble and they get taken away from us for a while. Then we'd find the hidden stash, start shooting them again.
Yeah.
That's usually what happened.
My little
Kill a
sister.
couple frogs on the front deck, and then all of a sudden the mess isn't cleaned up, and you get in trouble, and you're not allowed to use the black cats anymore.
Oops, killed a couple frogs, didn't clean it up. Yep.
Oh well, we would catch mice in the garage, and my dad would take me out with a BB gun, and I'd shoot them.
Oh my god.
And I'd
Things
learn,
are weird,
and I would have to
right?
learn how to headshot them, or else I'd watch them squirm and suffer. That's how I learned what guns do. Fucking shoot mice or squirrels in your freaking backyard, man. Brutal, but you learn very quickly. Never point this at a person, and always a headshot.
And if you do, you don't want to see them squirm.
Yeah, if you do,
my
the
God.
squirming sucks. So headshot. All the
Yeah,
time.
the squirming does suck.
It sucks. It's
That's why
super
birds
sad.
suck.
I'm feeling very suburban right now.
Right.
Yeah.
I lived in like a nice suburbia town. We just killed
Philip, you're
killed
Jewish
some
right
mice
now?
outside.
Scott, somebody's
the
talking
South.
to you in chat.
Huh? Okay.
Oh, Valiant movie news. Oh, is it that the Harbinger got pushed up?
Yeah,
Apparently
yeah,
it's because Bloodshot might be having other plans.
I feel like Bloodshot would also like require so much effects too. Like it'd be more effects intensive.
I don't know, more than Harbinger? Because Harbinger is like the
That would be
estimate
really-
team.
Yeah,
You
that's
literally
true.
got Toyo Harada in that shit, who just
Yeah, I guess
is
not.
like God.
But I think that's also like, you set up a movie, I think that Bloodshot's a better TV character, whereas the Harbinger team, it's very like, there's this big, sinister bad guy and a group of kids that have to fight him, and while they can't do all 25 issues of that in one movie, they can, they can condense the themes of that in a way that, like, Bloodshot's cool because it's the kind of book where, like, at the end of the first trade, then you realize what it is you're reading. And like, I don't know, basically, I don't know where you put the twist of Bloodshot in a movie, because that's where the movie should be beginning. But it's like, can't work with it.
I wonder
I'm just excited for the ninja.
I feel bad for my parents when I think back to how many times my brothers and I got sent to the hospital.
Yeah, they probably
Yeah.
raked up
Kids and-
hospital bills on you.
Raising kids in Arkansas, I'm guessing suburban families, like, there's those dangers, but there's a little bit more like, oh, they're inside playing video games. I guess that's better than the alternative of
Yeah,
wrecking
like my
4-wheelers
brother
into
was
a
like an
tree.
indoor kid.
My middle
Yep.
sister
Still
was
is.
the one that went to the hospital a lot for spraining ankles, getting, like, as a child, she just stitches everywhere. 1 year at the community pool, there was 3 accidents. It's our family. All 3 accidents. Chipped tooth,
Yeah.
busted chin,
I chipped my
and
tooth in
a
a
finger
pool
almost amputated by a door.
Oh God!
There's a lot of finger stories while growing up.
And that's,
Right.
just, that's also just kid stuff.
That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Kids are clumsy as
The,
shit.
the car door story, so many times.
everybody's
Yeah,
got
it
it.
still happens.
everybody's
Yeah.
always
It wasn't even my sister
door.
did it to me once. I was
Oh.
so mad at
It's
her.
worse
I
when someone
almost
else
lost
does it
my
to you.
fingernail. I was really mad. It really hurt.
Mine was the way it happened. I don't understand. Nobody understands what I did. I was at the time like 8 years old. Is it was this finger, but it was a right side hinge for the door. So I somehow just like just the way I was walking out of the bathroom and somebody had opened the door. Yes.
No.
Oh, what was even better was when I went. I was crying, so I'm holding my hand like this. And I went to the front lady because she was closest like adult to me, and I'm like, she doesn't even look at me. She just hears me crying and me say blood and finger. She goes, "Oh, it's nothing. Go find your mother." And so like, I just got turned away from an adult, and I was like, okay, I guess I go find my mom, and like this
Oh, God.
shock of haze. So I just turn around and start walking towards I think the direction that my mom was. They called everybody out of the pool. 2 lifeguards ran over to me. My mom came running over to me, and they had just called like
So gross.
ambulance.
They keep trying to get me to talk about Lucas stories. And Lucas was so much younger than me. He was 8 years younger.
Yeah.
So he, at that time, when he was old enough to talk and hang out, we used him as the girl magnet. A lot of Lucas's personality.
Makes sense.
Because he was really articulate and he could say anything without feeling like what he would be like whatever. So he used to like we'd take him to the lake and have him sit there and we'd be like go like talk to that girl. Walk up in his little life jacket and be like, "What's up, sugar mama?" Stuff like that all the time.
You're 8.
Well, my favorite thing that we used to have him do, so we lived on these bluffs that were out in the middle of nowhere, and of course us and all the other locals would like dive off of them, do flips off of them and stuff. But our favorite thing to do is wait for the city guys to come out and try to act all tough for their girls and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I know," and they'd get to the edge, and I'm gonna jump in a little bit, and they'd start, and we'd be like, "All right, Lucas, do it." So at even the age of 6, like we had taught him how to jump off the bluffs because that was like part of our initiation growing up.
Honestly,
But then
that
as
sounds so
teenagers, being
scary.
able to be like, "All right, Lucas, now's the time," and he would have his little life jacket, and we taught him how to like go up there, take his shirt off slowly, and be like, "Pretty far, right?" And then just jump.
Really?
So good. All these guys would be like, "Oh, that kid!" Always posturing.
I've always kind of wanted to jump off bluffs like that, but it's so scary.
There's aquarium in
Got hospital
Minnesota.
stories on those too.
Yeah, I'm just like 100% certain I would die.
There's aquarium in Minnesota that's like an hour and a half from Minneapolis itself. It's near St. Cloud, where you can go like you just pay for parking and everything. You walk through the woods and super nice water, and there's like 3 or 4 different spots to jump off of.
No thanks.
Yeah, we're nothing but bluffs. Our lake doesn't have a beach. It's just bluffs
The
everywhere.
lakes that I grew up going to were kind of gross.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
Like polluted.
No, not
Or
polluted.
just, like, not that
just
pretty?
like they're really pretty. They're just kind of like gross at the bottom and like
Oh,
Like
this is all
gross, you mean-
sandstone, so
like
it's,
gross, you
really
mean just, like,
clean,
muddy?
clear.
it's like kind of muddy and
Yeah, kind of like
That's how lakes are.
dingy. Like yeah,
See, for me,
Not very
lakes are
deep,
like
but not very
super
big.
clean, like pristine.
yeah,
But in Arkansas, it's all like limestone and sandstone, so it's like super
yeah.
clear. There's
Well,
no
I
mud.
mean, you lived on one of the lakes that I grew up going to, and it's not fun to swim in. Gross.
I don't know. I grew up next to a lake
Wait.
that was all just
It's
like
Spanish.
mud and.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't swim.
No, it's like you can and you do, but it's just
Yeah.
like like
You
there
feel
seaweed?
like yeah, when you get out of Lake Sammamish, you feel
Seaweed?
kind of slimy
You
afterwards.
feel slimy
It's
getting
not.
out of any of the lakes. I wouldn't swim in Beaver Lake.
I'd say a lot of
Beaver
the
Lake.
the
That's
Washington.
because Beaver Lake is basically a
Very
pond.
nice.
I mean, yeah, basically.
pretty-
I made people go in that. like so many times for photo shoots and stuff when I was in high school, and I was like, I'm a photographer. I feel bad.
I was
now.
wondering what quote-unquote photo shoots meant, but
Yeah,
never mind.
no, they were. That sounds creepy. No.
Yeah.
I was
used to
on
do
your
photo shoots in the lake. It was really dirty lake.
You always
I
felt
thought
really
this-
slimy.
I was in high school. I used to go on photo shoots.
It was always slimy when I got out.
Gross.
Yeah, I definitely have an insulated
Questionable.
childhood because I'm like, oh, what happened to me? I like slipped
You should
once
check
in
out
a
my
hot
Model
tub.
Mayhem account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I swallowed a guitar pick and got taken to the urgent care.
Nice.
So that's when I was 17.
How did
You did?
Yeah.
how did it?
Why do I not know
Did
this
you get
story?
We should go talk.
All right, peace out.
Hey guys, watch Vanquish because I'm gonna learn things about it.
Yeah, coming up
Swallow a
soon.
guitar pick. Do you just like get hit and like have it in your
I used
mouth?
to chew my guitar picks and then I was in a car and I hit a bump and it snapped in the back of my mouth.
Oh, that's too bad. We should go back.
Steph, you just remember,
What?
I'm not no fair weather couch sitter. I'm with you from the beginning.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I
so
appreciate your loyalty because that is one thing that I value above all things. Loyalty.
Couch loyalty.
Couch loyalty, man. One couch and one only.
So where did you grow up, Steph?
I grew up in California in the Bay Area.
Bay Area.
In
That's
Vallejo,
such a nebulous term. I can't
Vallejo,
even
but
name
I unfortunately am not nearly as in with the homies as Gare thinks I am.
Oh, okay.
Vallejo? I'm like, no. Not the Vallejo you're thinking, sorry.
Not the right.
I didn't really go hang out with people. I was a sheltered kid.
You were just too busy shooting mice in the head?
Yeah, but my dad wanted to just like raise me as a, like pretty much as like a tomboy. So my dad was like, okay, yeah, sure, here you go. Just entertain my dad. And I was like, I like this stuff, knives and guns and all that jazz. So that was
So
fun.
most of the time you were hanging out with your father then,
Yeah.
more than anyone else.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. My sister is the complete opposite though. She's better. She's sometimes really much better at video games than I am sometimes. Like, she actually went around and actually beat Guild Wars and stuff, and really got into video games. So I was very proud of that. I was like, yeah, my sister's cool.
How old is she compared to you?
She's 6 years younger.
6 years younger. Okay.
Yeah, she's like she did a bioengineering major in 4 years at UC Santa Cruz. I am so fucking proud of her. Holy fuck, because that's a lot of work. Very proud of my sister.
She's like a mega book brainiac.
Yeah, but she's also like extremely high anxiety, so that's how she got through that.
That's how you do it. It's
That's
like
how
you're
you
always
do it.
on edge. You're
Everything
always
is like
on
everything is never done, and everything is horrible and stressful, and that's how you get through college. That's how you get an engineering degree in 4 years.
That can be key to achieving a lot
Yeah,
of things.
that's how you do it. That is one way you do it. So. Yeah, she went to her graduation. I'm like, I don't care what happens from here on out. I was like, I'm proud of you, little sister.
And you guys never really fought or anything? You didn't?
Oh no, we're very different people.
Oh,
So we
okay.
always fought. Like it's still, I'm still like, I hadn't talked to her in a long time because I ruined myself and my family when I left and moved up here.
Mhm.
I just removed myself from my family, and so I also unfortunately had to remove myself from her, which really sucks because I didn't want to. So talking again, slowly getting back in touch. She finally moved out of my dad's place, so I was like, God damn, finally, now we can actually talk as human beings.
Right. Gotta get out of the nest some.
Yeah, so fun family stuff. I don't really talk to my family.
Mm-hmm.
It's just better for me to not to do that.
Yeah.
Like, so my dad doesn't know that I'm gay, but I'm okay with it. So
Okay.
if you're talking about, if you want to talk about like coming out and, you know, pride and stuff, like it's fine to not tell certain people because we don't need to ever know.
Sure, and that could change, but for
Yeah.
now, at least.
Yeah, it's not even a safety thing. It's for me it's not a safety thing. It's just I just don't think it's, you know,
It's just not important.
it's just not, yeah, it's not important to him. He thinks that I'm a very different person. So it's like, okay, fine. I don't really feel like telling you otherwise. You haven't bothered to ask me if that's who I am, and I'm not gonna see me as I am.
So, like, if he actually asked, would you tell him?
Probably.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where
Yeah,
you feel like
absolutely.
he doesn't actually really want to
I
know.
think I would tell, but I think he's afraid to really know me. You
Mhm.
know. I'm fine.
Get that.
Like if you stop to ask me, then yeah, absolutely, we'll talk about it. I'm okay with it.
So, did you have any, since we're talking about broken bones, injuries?
No, actually, I've not broken a bone in my body. I got hit by
Never.
a car, sort of, once. And I blacked out
Were you in a car?
No, I was running across the street like a dumbass in 5th grade and got swiped by a car. It hit me in the leg right when I was like extending out and running. And I just felt a tap and my body was like, this could be bad, and I blacked out.
Wow.
So I sprawled, I got flung out, sprawled out, I had like a bruised tendon and that was it. Really fucking lucky. No
You know, it
broken
might have
bones,
worked
though.
out that you weren't ready for it, so your body didn't like tense up.
Yeah, well, it's like a safety thing with your body too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if something bad is gonna happen, it just shuts down. Like, whoop, nope, you're blackout. You know, because of pain. Because it could be bad. Like it literally in my head, logically, my brain was like, "Car, you're about to get hit. This can be bad. I'm gonna turn you off for a second so you don't feel it." And that's the reason, like, went limp. Yeah.
Wow.
Talking about how the body reacts to pain and adrenaline, and how your body learns that pain is the learning tool to stop doing things.
Oh yeah.
So there's some people who are born without that part of their brain that tells them to stop, that pain is bad, and they just hurt themselves, like gouge their eyes out, burn their skin off. They feel the pain, it's there, they just don't feel the need that it's fatal.
It doesn't like connect.
No, and it's so scary. It's fucking scary. I don't know what color to make his wings.
Yeah, I've only broken like I've only like fractured a toe once during a soccer
Oh
game.
god, that's so scary. Ugh.
No, it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah?
I like played a whole game of soccer with a broken toe.
Jesus, dude.
It hurt, but,
Yeah, I bet.
but it was
Sounds
not
like it did.
the end of the world. I was like, this is weird.
Actually, I don't want that up there. Why did I see
Dude, this is looking so good.
Yeah.
I love where the horns have gone.
Mm-hmm. There's
Beefed
a
them up.
like a kind of cattle in Africa that look like this. So pretty.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Guys, what do you think? This is amazing. How y'all feeling?
Yeah. Kind of cool. Happy with where it's going. We need to kind of step away for a second. So, gonna set up a camera for you guys, at least.
Take a good look.
Yeah. Actually, do that for now. Yeah, and you know what's crazy? It takes only 10 pounds of pressure to break a bone in your toe.
Yeah, oh dude, Jenny always says to me,
10
she's like, to
pounds.
break your finger, all you'd have to do is bite down on hard as you would a carrot.
Because you literally can force down over 100 pounds of pressure in your jaw.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Ooh.
Hope you get a good view of this. Yeah.
Oh man, that reminds me, I was rewatching Blade Runner a few weeks ago,
Ugh.
and there's that scene where Decker has his arm caught through like a
Yeah.
wall, and then he's like getting his fingers broken.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I'm reminding you all of this like terrible scene, but just think
Megaloblazeon-
about that at night when you're trying to sleep.
A Megaloblazeon, it's not a chimera, it is a Lamassu, at least how I have been picturing Lamassus lately. Part man, part ox, and lion, and eagle. So.
Chimeras wish they could be Lamassus.
Yeah, chimeras wish they had that pretty face.
And those-
That handsome mug.
And the
Chimera
wings, like that's the
has
coolest thing, they get wings.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with how I set this up, so that's why I kind of want to wait and make sure I'm gonna do these wings right. It looks really cool from back here too. I was like pretty happy with the mane. Yeah, so like that was the whole, how do I make a 3D, you know, the angles, the hair.
Well, and
Super
so then
stuff.
are you going to continue working on this next week as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to try and returning the pieces because I want to do a bigger, nicer pieces. Like, after I was like following Liz Edwards stuff, she built this really cool spaceship. I don't know if you follow her on Twitter. You should follow her on
I
Twitter.
checked her out, yeah.
Holy shit, she built this really cool little spaceship with pilots inside and everything, and it's really, really cool. It's what I want Tilt Brush to be. And so, like, I want to return to, like, making actual, like, creatures and maybe remaking the whole, like, Wolf Queen story, because now you could actually move through the scenes and stuff, because I can, like, place things somewhere else, you know? I can move this guy, and it's really exciting.
I think it'd be awesome if you told a whole story.
Yeah,
through
because
VR
now there's like more
images.
options and more things that I can do. So I might want to try and do that again. But I'll have to rearrange it just because the first time I did it, I learned certain things and certain ways of narrative don't really translate while you're drawing them.
So, for next week, how do you plan to tackle the wings? Because that's going to require a lot of like detail
Oh
work
no,
for
it'll
the
be like
feathers.
it'll be like the Valor Bond. That one's easy. It's just drawing the wing shapes first. So
Okay.
let's see if I can. Hold on. So what you would do is like do wing shapes first, which is why these lines are kind of here.
Uh-huh.
So these are different you know, main mass, primaries, secondaries, and then the back wing area. So the elbow would be right here. So all I have to do is like lay things down and then lay each sheet as a feather this way. So the wings are actually going to be easy because I want to keep that form going. Yeah. I did that Valrabon once. So it's not going to be
So it's about
hard.
getting that initial shape down.
Yeah. But I don't want to rush it because if I tend to rush things, stop moving. I want you over here.
I think a big part of like honing your craft is learning how to take time with it too. There's like a point when you're like training yourself where I think like speed and like just consistency of like making sure you're doing the work every day is important.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're like, okay, now I need to slow down and think more thoughtfully about
Yeah,
what I'm
answer
doing.
the conversation, right? Because I've drawn horns enough to know the conversation of what translates as horns, and same with wings. Like I know that layering and like what shapes need to be drawn. Same with these like forms and stuff, like how hooves sort of look like, or how shoulders look like, or if I add wings, like it needs to have like an extra layer of like trapezius muscle in the back.
See?
Cheer! Thanks for the cheer! Sweet!
Woo!
Woo-hoo!
Also, someone wanted to know about the dark entity that you had made a deal with, but I want to dispel that myth. I believe you actually.
I am the dark entity.
I was gonna say you've just been practicing.
Yeah. No, I am the dark entity.
Be your own dark entity, guys. That's what Full Tilt's all
I
about.
just try and keep drawing, and there are times that I don't want to draw. There's some days that I just don't feel inspired, and it friggin' sucks so much. But you just either you just take a break, come back to it, but always don't ever stop.
Yeah, I think you should
don't ever stop.
You should never beat yourself up
Yeah.
too bad about the days you take off, which is easier to say than to do sometimes.
Oh yeah, I
But
have to
like
go through that.
that's
for
not
sure.
that's not constructive either, and that makes it harder to come back sometimes.
Yeah. It's always, and some days you just gotta force yourself to draw. Like I sometimes on my off days just like draw things that I already know, like wolves and monsters, and just sometimes practice some figure drawing because I can draw people really easily, or like just bodies anyway. I'll just find a bunch of like some photos of figures and just draw them and just try, you know, things that are familiar. Always things that are familiar. What wings do I like to draw more? I like both, I think. There's no real preference because each is its own thing, right? Like bat wings are fun because they're just giant hands. And then bird wings, there's some pretty crazy birds out there. I don't know I forgot the name of this falcon, but it has these like long pinions that kind of grow out from underneath their arms away from their primaries. And they're really pretty when they fold up because they become this extra tail around them. So I started drawing griffins with those. I feel they're supposed to be like majestic and cute and flowing. Chimera is a hybrid of many. Yes, sort of. Yeah. Same in science too. It's a dark entity that lives in the night. Yes, they do. I take souls. In science too, chimeras are just like the mix of two different animals, or like individual bodies,
Sure.
right? Individual bodies and beings. Even people can be chimera sometimes.
Yeah.
Words are funny like that. They can have a lot of meanings.
But I do actually want to know the origin for chimera beyond just lion, goat, snake. Yeah, lion, goat, snake. Yeah, I like this guy. He has a nice face too. That's the other concern, like with drawing characters, is like making the face. I don't want him to be mean, but I want him to be thoughtful and sometimes sad.
Yeah, and
think I did
besides
well.
the wings, what other stuff do you want to be able to focus on next week?
Oh, the back hooves, the back legs. I don't like what's happening with how scratchy it is because I'm not happy. I'm not
Yeah,
about
now
it
I
yet.
see. Okay.
So the back feet.
I love how claw-like your hooves are too.
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah, they're like little kind of almost.
They're
fingers.
aggressive. Yeah.
It's part lion too. It's beyond just the tail. Like some of it is like that, you know, predator feel, I guess. And the mane I think is more lion than anything else. So there's your lion bit.
Lion hipster.
Lion hipster. I could do a crown too. So I do a glowing crown eventually. Yeah, but this is a really fun style to try and do because it's really challenging because like this marker brush is so 2D and forcing it out like this is really, really fun. It's so weird. Very, very weird. Might try with other, but I also like this because I can do the shading as I wish because the other brushes are too unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
They rely on the spec from the environment and stuff. I'll see you, Maddie Pig. Have fun cooking some foods. Sorry, just video for chatting. See what you guys got to say.
This is cool.
Cause
Like
I
you're.
got like, cause I think we got 15 more minutes, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's like you're kind of putting together a portfolio or like a bestiary.
Yeah, right. Collection
Sweet.
of.
Like I just
collection
want to
of
like
these-
flip
yeah.
through all of these.
Yeah,
like,
we should totally hold on. I'm gonna
Let's go check them out.
turn this off.
What? Stand them all up. Stat them all up.
Just gonna save this guy in a nice way.
Now, can you load that into another picture you made? Because you mentioned something
No,
like-
I
okay.
can't. That's like the shitty thing. That's like the
Oh,
massively
okay.
sad thing. What is that? There's some things in here that I'm like, I don't remember. So this is the first thing I did ever. Is this dragon?
Ooh.
Fun to watch this guy. Filling his body in is really fun. It was like large, like anthropomorphic muscles, but also like keeping that part snake thing going
Mhm.
the whole way. That was really fun.
They had a bring to life feature. That'd be nuts.
Oh god, animating
yeah.
this would be crazy because it's so much memory per strand of vector
Right?
that's in
Like
here.
your computer would just explode.
Yeah, your computer would explode. So. This is the very first thing I drew.
Wow.
Everything too big.
I love it though. I love how
Learn-
big it is.
Learned a lot of things, yeah. Learned a lot of things. Is it
It's
that?
cool. It has like a very raw sculpted form.
Yeah, so it's like using the texture kind of right there and like the hair here on the face. Look at this guy.
Look at those scary glowing eyes.
See, sort of.
Love that effect.
Yeah, burning. All the burning. And then this giant minotaur. The other one's gonna load it. This is the one. This is the one where I drew it too tall, and now I can actually shrink him down. It's kind of cool, or just make him bigger, which is even more frightening. Huge.
Getting a flashback to the Taurus demon.
Yeah. And I have all these like Marashi stuff. That was pretty rad. There's a Valravon in here, right? Yeah, there is. In case you guys are wondering what Valravon was.
Yeah, and let us know about other mythologies we should be checking out. Again, we want to hear.
Yeah, I got some really cool
what you're
folklore
into.
links too from you lovely thumpers. So definitely checking. If you link it to me in my Twitter,
Yo,
I'll definitely be able to check it out. For sure.
Yup, Yeehaw Skills says this is dope, and I agree.
Yeah, thanks.
I just realized it's definitely iHas.
Oh yeah, so there you go. Here's the wings, right? Super easy wings. Wings are easy.
Oh yeah, those look great.
Wings are easy.
Would you ever be interested in trying to do the individual feathers?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like my first time playing with it. So this was fun. Yeah. This is
Oh,
like
yeah.
making the crow feathers and everything. It was super fast. This thing is super big. I don't know why it's so big. It's crazy. Yeah. Huge. What else is fun in here? Oh yeah. All the Marachi stories are really fun. So they don't translate well to they're fun to experience. Sure, the Wendigo that I did.
Oh yeah.
I like
That's
this
a good
Wendigo. Because making this guy even bigger is like horrifying. But yeah, so like the way the lighting happens is like you're just at the mercy of like where the light source is. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, you can't control lighting,
Yeah.
which is the biggest thing missing that I feel like.
Yeah,
it
but
could
it's still really
add.
cool because of this one. I did want this kind of texture to it.
I wonder if there's like a reason they don't give you lighting control. Like there's something under the hood they're trying to.
It's probably the way that
Sure.
the brush is actually spec that they don't do that.
Oh.
Because if you dick around with light too much, you'll find a seam and you'll kind of screw up, and it's just it screws with your memory a lot to do that. I think that's just my guess. This guy's cool. This guy's so cool.
Yeah.
Ribcage. is
The
on
hollowed
there. You guys
ribcage.
at the ribcage.
Yeah, now I see the Dark Souls
So
everywhere.
cool. Yeah. Love it. The tragedy, right? Because that's kind of my
Uh-huh.
thing. Pain nerd. So like the tragic beasts. I think is very very cool. Yeah. It's a nice face.
Hey, I have skills. Every Monday we are making these amazing creatures on Full Tilt. Also coming up, we got an awesome show. Woo!
Yeah,
Oh
woo!
hey, BB
Hey!
Phantom, 8 months.
Damn.
What?
Thank you.
Thumper Pride.
Yeah. So this is the first Wendigo, which I really like because he's fucking creepy, and when you make him bigger,
Ooh.
it's like I don't want to be in the woods with you. Really don't want to be in the woods. Because, like, there's some Wendigo stories, but they're, like, 20, 30 feet high. So it's like, they're monsters. Such monsters.
Oh yeah, and there's trees in this one.
Yeah, there's trees in this one, and snow, too. Like, kind of cool. Cool environment. You're like, shit! What is it like to see the Shadow of the Colossus? It's like, it's here now. So, very creepy. He's very, very creepy. I love that back. Yeah, because, oh, the lighting? Yeah, the lighting actually sticks with the... Wait, I don't know, actually. Maybe not. Huh, interesting. Very interesting. I don't know.
I would definitely like to know how the lighting works.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I'm curious about how they make the brushes. Yeah. Because it's like a material sphere from ZBrush where everything's kind of spec to it and they just kind of repeat and tile and program it. Probably. So most of the Mac people. Yeah, no, but that's already happening because like there's some like showcase files and I can pull out other artists' work and I can add to it, you know, and keep it. And that'd be so amazing someday to do that with friends or like being able to keep up a kind of a multiplayer, I guess, or sharing option in this program would be so cool. Man, you could like collaborate and make so many environments and stories. It'd be so great.
Dang.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. I don't know.
Alright.
QQ, are we good to wrap up?
Let's take one last look at that Lammasu.
We'll do the Lammasu one more time.
And guys, stay tuned because coming up at 6 p.m. we are having Vanquished Volume 3 happening now. Wait, no, Volume
Is
4.
there volume 3?
Wait, where are we?
Volume 3. Volume 3.
Volume 3, thanks. Okay, I was like, where are we?
Look at the
Yes.
space. Yeah.
All right,
let's
so
do
this is gonna be awesome.
That's super
And ooh, check this out real quick.
Yeah,
Look at this.
that's how this happens.
This is amazing. I'm loving the way that this work is evolving.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yes, the episode tonight is It Is Written. We'll see what happens. We got a lot.
That face looked so much easier than it was to actually make. What the fuck?
Yeah, this makes it look
happened
effortless,
so
which
much
it was
faster.
not.
Yeah.
It was
It
not.
happened so much faster.
And if you're a fan of what we're doing here, you can check out past episodes on our YouTube channel, Hyper RPG. As well, of course, you can tune in every Monday at 3 p.m. to check out Full Tilt with our super talented staff.
Usually doing a lot of VR. Usually it's
Yep.
this program or Zach throwing me into Trespass and freaking me out.
Yep, right here on Hyper RPG. And become one of the thumpers.
Yeah.
Today,
hang out.
right now,
Yeah.
you can do
and,
it.
Hang out for Vanquished, really cool comic book RPG, like the only comic book RPG going on Twitch
Yeah.
right now. Tune in some cool stuff.
And then at 10 p.m., it's Do Better with Goobers. All right, we are out of here. Thanks, Steph.
Peace. Thanks for hanging out.